Disclaimer: the following Boundless PodTrap episode contains strong opinions that some listeners may and will find offensive. If you cannot accept or respect others with a differing opinion from yours, then fuck off.
Rolling sound.
I like turtles.
Shush! Oh, what is it? Let me see your war face.
Now, y'all ain't planning on fucking these chickens, are you?
Picture it. Sicily, 1920.
Aren't we fucking funny?
Streaming from the Midwest, right in the middle of the U.S. From Omaha, Nebraska, you're listening to the Boundless PodTrap, your entertainment podcast where we touch on all topics, from the crazy and absurd to the sacred and profane, and even the useless and unnecessary. The Boundless PodTrap knows no bounds. And now, here are your hosts.
This is episode 007, and I want to welcome you all to the Boundless PodTrap.
What's happening?
Aside from me slapping you.
No.
Why did you pretend like you were talking?
Because it was supposed to be on you guys. Like what? How is he doing that?
Are we 5 years old?
What's I don't get it.
That's what we have to look forward to tonight, Lonnie, with him behind the ring.
Off to a good start, right?
Oh, man.
Now, welcome back, guys. Today is August 31st. This is episode 7 of the Boundless PodTrap. I am one of your hosts, Justin.
Jeremy.
I'm Lonnie.
And a dog barking outside.
Oh. We have some stuff in store for you guys. But before then, like, how the hell have you guys been?
I celebrated the best holiday ever this weekend, boys. Did you celebrate? You didn't celebrate, did you? Did you celebrate?
I celebrated a few Independence Days.
It was the birth of Bill and Ted Face the Music holiday weekend. Did you see it?
No.
No. What? Did you see it?
I saw the trailer.
Yeah, I saw the trailer.
Fucking news. It was fantastic.
The trailer was almost enough for me.
It was fantastic. We're actually recording this on Thursday, so I have no idea how good it's going to be. So if you see it, it sucks. Take this with a grain of salt. But I'm going to assume it's fantastic because it's Bill and Ted.
I saw a few of the behind-the-scenes type of stuff, and yeah, I was pretty excited for it. That's like my childhood right there.
It's all of our childhood.
Wild Stallions.
But, I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Bill and Ted. Part 2 is pretty good as well, but I mean, is it just going to be kind of just one of those things where you watch this third one? How many years later? 25 years later?
It could be 27. They could be Pennywise the Clown. Both of them.
I mean,
so good.
Keanu Reeves, like, you look at everything.
Before you say that, you best let that simmer a bit before you go cursing Keanu Reeves.
I'm just saying.
You got something to say about Keanu?
Is this really a role that he should be doing after all the stuff he's done?
Who cares?
I mean, it's gonna be like Dumb and Dumber. Like,
Look what you did.
Like, Dumb and Dumber is probably the original. Is probably one of the best comedy movies out there, in my opinion. And then 20 years later or whatever, when they did Dumb and Dumber or whatever it was, not the one where it was like a prequel, but the one that actually had Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. If I didn't pay money to see that movie, I would have walked out, because it was just trying to watch two guys trying to hold on and duplicate something they did 20 years ago. And it was just rough to watch because it wasn't the same. And that's what I get with Keanu Reeves doing this.
First off, how dare you compare Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure to fucking Dumb and Dumber?
They're nothing alike.
They're not.
Completely.
I wasn't comparing the movies. I was comparing what it's like for the actors that are portraying these characters.
The level of the adventure and comedy are so much different, too. That's like comparing the Titanic to a fucking Dixie cup floating in the ocean.
Hey, both Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and Dumb and Dumber are both great movies for different reasons. I'm not taking anything away from it, but I'm just saying.
One is a masterpiece, and one you can I'm not gonna say what you can do to.
So you're saying
Justin's
you're not going to watch
mom.
it? You hated it? Would have hated it?
I'll probably watch it, but it's just
No bullshit, Nate.
it's just I can already tell you that it's probably going to be like a ugh.
You hate fun.
I don't hate fun.
You hate fun. You won't watch it. You won't watch Bill and Ted's.
Yeah.
You hate fun.
Because the remakes of it are not fun because they have some dumbass playing Pennywise that is not Pennywise.
He hates fun.
Tim Curry is Pennywise.
Yes, he is. No one will ever question that. Tim Curry is Pennywise. But it doesn't change the fact that you're no fun.
Okay, it could be the heist that my brain cells are dead because of Justin's drink over there that's got so much freaking
smell it,
ginger. I do smell
It smells like what you used to clean battery cables.
It's a tonic, man. I created this. Well, I made it. It's a little bit of like lemonade with apple cider vinegar with cinnamon and ginger powder.
I'm pretty sure that's what we used to use to catch gnats on the farm.
What did you say it looked like?
Oh, it looks like piss. Like when you're sick and you get really frothy piss. That's what it looks like.
That's what it looked like when I
you've
took
been,
it out of the blender.
You've been holding it for a month, or if you've ever been to like a good real punk rock venue,
it's still
and
warm.
you walk in the bathroom of like midway through a show, and you go into an undisclosed punk rock venue. We'll just call it the Cog Factory, and you go into like midway through the show. That's what the floor looks like. Is what Justin is drinking.
We need to take a picture of this, of the drink, and post it in the description so that people can see and make a determination themselves what it looks like.
You know what it looks like? It looks like the fucking Sioux Falls fall water.
Go ahead.
That I drank?
We'll create a poll. Does this look like piss or not?
Yes, it does look
Not
like
healthy. Not healthy piss.
All right, I'm
like
going to take a picture here.
definitely
Wait.
piss. Would you rather drink this, Jeremy, or watch it?
Ooh, I'm going to have to drink it.
You son of a bitch.
All right.
We have the picture taken. We'll post it.
What about you? What did you do this weekend?
I worked and then celebrated my mother's birthday.
Aw, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Speaking of birthdays,
I was like, the end?
yeah.
Where are we going with this?
Who do you guys think would win in a fight?
The hell does this have to do with birthday?
Wow.
Because it's their birthdays today.
Oh, okay.
Ember Moon or Mickey James? At their prime.
Right now?
At their prime.
Oh, at their prime.
Well, Ember Moon is in her
Pretty
prime.
much prime right now.
I don't. Is it Psycho Mickey James? The cool Mickey James when she first debuted,
Take your
like
pick.
WrestleMania 22, where she grabbed Trish Stratus's cooter, like
The
that kind of
finger-licking
psycho.
Mickey
You're not
James.
supposed to do that, right? Can't do that anymore.
Ooh. So I mean, if it's Psycho Mickey James, I'm going with Mickey James. But if it's current happy Mickey James, then I'm going with Ember Moon.
You know who else's birthday is today? If whoever wins goes up against Jeff Hardy's birthday. It's his birthday today, August 31st.
Why wasn't he thrown in to make it a
Because,
triple threat
like,
match?
you know, because
Now,
it's
are
not
we
fair.
talking drunk and disorderly Jeff Hardy? Or
So
It doesn't matter.
It's a Jeff Hardy from the past.
are we talking TNA Jeff Hardy?
That's a shame because Jeff Hardy was like my, I don't want to say role model, but kind of idol growing up.
Same.
Like
Going
when,
through that,
back
I
when
was
my
like-
buddies and I used to do backyard wrestling. I mean, my character, I cut the pantyhose on my arms and stuff, and I mean, it was basically I got those black pants that he wore, and I was basically just a ripoff of Jeff Hardy, just not as cool.
Is that when you wrestle with Max?
Yes.
Assless chaps.
No, me
Why
and
do
my
they call
buddy-
them assless
guys,
chaps?
me and
Isn't
my
that what
buddies
chaps
wrestled
are?
on mattresses in the backyard.
You brought up something very important here. Assless chaps
Those are just
are the
chaps.
fucking only kind of chaps there are.
Yeah.
If they had an ass in them, they'd
Pants.
be fucking jeans.
Yeah. They're pants or whatever, yeah.
Do you have a pair?
Of pants? Yeah, I hope so.
Assless.
I think we all do.
Are you asking why I wasn't wearing pants?
Because it's hot as
Because I'm
fuck
wearing
in here. You
assless
make us
chaps.
turn
Fuck,
the air
man.
conditioner
Speaking
off.
of which, I do have a birthday present for you. Since it's been like 100 degrees, I have a dog in my vehicle. I should have probably rolled down the window.
Now we got PETA disliking our podcast.
Nice. The goal of the podcast was to be the #0 podcast in the nation.
Well, they were going to be our sponsor tonight, but
All said. I didn't get the details, the deets as they are.
This will be cheap to feed.
When they're dead?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yikes.
Feed you, or you don't eat your dogs when they're gone?
Anyway.
Anyway, yeah. So my weekend, actually did a few audition, well, 8 audition, and then like some choreography for another film that I'm doing with Sydney.
Look at you, big fucking timer.
I know.
Did you get the part?
I'm assuming I did. I mean, like, the people who showed up are, well, 2 of them are from the short film that we're already doing.
The Roman Sorcerer?
Yeah.
Nice.
And the other guy, well, 2 other people who showed up. One of them has done quite a bit of stuff, but I'm not entirely sure as far as what their extent of movement is, because it's going to be another, like, martial art. It's like a very bro movie, but...
Bloodsport 14.
That's already been done. It's up to 27 now.
I guess I'll have more details coming out soon, but I haven't got a call yet, but it's only been a few days, so let's see what happens.
Awesome. There's a lot of people that are doing a lot more film projects. I mean, because we are doing our short E films.
Yep.
Short E films. Is that how you
films.
Short E films.
Short A.
Which stands for short entertainment films. But yeah,
That's what it is.
we've got we're in the middle of 2 projects right now with that. The first one we're going to be doing is one I wrote and we'll be directing, called One More Body. We've had a couple of read-throughs. Yeah, we've got. I swear, one of these days your fingers are going to get broken. When you're in a full body cast, I am going to laugh.
I get the jitters.
If it gets booed, it's partly your fault.
And I was going to say, why are you booing that? This is you're part of short E film, so
not that part, not that one. I mean, like, I'm helping out on it, but I'm not I didn't boo it. Like, the tonic is getting to me.
So he's basically he's upset.
This is his episode.
Pouting
he's
because this is the first. This is
the
first shorty or the first film of mine that he's not a part of. Although I do have a part for him in this, but he.
Fucking gone
he
now.
He just lost it.
Fired. That's what happened.
But no, so we got that one coming up, and then Lonnie, you wrote one, and I'll be directing it.
Yeah.
Called The Last Goodbye.
That'd be a good one. Great casting that one.
And I was I read part of Justin's story that he emailed to me, but I had a pounding headache when I got home. So.
Was it because of the story?
No, I had a pounding headache way before that. So no, it's exciting stuff. We got a lot of people interested in being in this, and I think it's just a great way.
What is the following up to right now, as far as like the group?
In the group, we're at like 65 or 66 members.
You know how much we've moved up from?
We're almost about to surpass our amount of people from the Boundless PodTrap.
Now we could just get them to listen to it.
I don't know. And the funny thing is, my sister is not a part of the shorty films.
We can have a real fan.
She's got to get all of her sock accounts going.
You know who hasn't accepted the request?
Who has or hasn't?
Hasn't. Paco.
Uh-oh.
I thought he would have really wanted to be in that because he's always wanted. What is that song, by the way?
It's Paco. Paco, Paco, give me Paco, 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 Paco.
Do you be honest with me? Do you listen to that when you're driving? Don't you?
Well,
you freaking like
a
you like
20-second segment, so I have to play it like maybe 80 times before I get to my destination.
Oh, in 20 seconds? Like that's not a real song.
No, it's just a little clip. It might be a fool.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't know.
He's got to get himself pumped up to get here.
Like when you listen,
this hype music.
When you guys think of Paco, like you just smile, right? And I think that song kind of has that.
Depends on what year I'm thinking of with him.
What mood he's in.
2004, he was kind of on my shit list. So,
well,
in 2004, he was on your shit list.
Yeah,
man, I was on his shit list.
Remember, he almost killed you.
We didn't even know each other. Who knew Paco would bring us together?
Right.
It's an accident.
He knew everybody in 2004.
So, do you guys want to? You guys got anything else? Want to get into a game here?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, might as well while we're awake. I got him.
I don't know what that.
Because you have 4 freaking pages of notes.
4. It's 8. They're
Son
double-sided.
of a bitch.
All right. So,
Oh, they are double-sided. Son of a bitch.
wasn't
You
lying.
weren't
Yeah.
lying.
and they're like,
oh my god.
they're only like six size font.
Yeah, those are tiny.
It's
How
not
can you
tiny,
read
just-
that? God, it must suck to have
I'll
good eyes.
be taking a pee break when you read that.
Me too. Oh,
So what's this game you got?
Yeah,
for
just fill up his canteen.
I won't even know the
He's not
difference.
even drinking it because he's like even
He's
he's
scared
like
of it.
"Ugh."
Let me.
This is the guy that probably puts ginger in his shit. Eats it.
Shake it up if you're gonna drink it.
Are you really gonna have some, Lonnie?
I'll try it.
We quarantine for 2 weeks each, so
I have digestive problems, so that's probably not a wise idea.
it's
for
gonna
me.
fall right out your butt. You know,
Probably.
Yeah.
That's what I'm scared of.
It'll clean you out.
I don't need that. I'm cleaned out as it is.
Did you just spit it back in there? Why'd you do that?
That is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, the cinnamon really cools it off.
Yeah, it does.
The
It's not bad.
ginger gives it a little bit of a bite, but
It's not going away. It lingers.
Well, that's probably not a good thing.
it'll wake you up.
So to this game.
All right.
And now that everybody heard you slide that across the frickin' table, what just happened?
Do either of you have a coin on you?
No.
No.
All right.
Because we're in a coin shortage.
I do have.
Jeremy can go first.
We have this memory card, the SD card.
We'll do that. That's actually that'll work. So here is the game. So we have a few killers on the loose. I, as the forensic examiner, will describe the findings of the deceased, the John and Jane Does, if you will, and you two are the detectives. You guys are slotted for a promotion, so you have to, guess a lot here. So the detective with the most closed cases will get the promotion and their own office. Detective Lonnie Heads and Detective Jeremy Tells. That's you guys' names. It'd be easy to remember because alphabetical. Detective Heads is giving me this look. Are you looking at me or through me?
I don't know why. Heads could either be really good or real bad, depending
Really
on
good, really bad. I'm tails.
Depending
Nothing ever good comes out of that.
depending on what part of town I'm from.
Or going
So
to?
as a reminder, this game is going to count for either Lonnie or I to get a point. Right now we're all tied with 1 win apiece.
Right.
Last episode, Dustin beat us, our
He cheated.
guest.
Dustin.
So yeah, and then whoever has the least amount of wins at the start of 2021 has to get a punishment. So,
Grab a die or something. Boom. All right, so every piece of submitted evidence counts as a point towards your winning. We need names on the deceased and the name of the killer and or killers. Upon the examination, these killers are still at large. Time is of the essence, so you get 15 seconds to guess.
okay, so is this several cases? Okay.
It'll be several.
Okay.
Okay, 15 seconds and then the game's over?
Well,
New subject.
could
Next.
happen. Could happen, and we're still waiting for Lonnie to get some dice or whatever. We are not prepared.
Don't even worry about it. I'll just use this.
Okay.
Boom. So, yeah.
I didn't get any of the rules, so YOLO.
Boom. Pretty much guess the stuff. There's killer are killers, and guess the deceased are deceased.
So we're playing Clue.
Pretty much.
I
So-
sucked at that. God dang it!
Yeah. So I'm going to give you my coroner's report, and then if you guys cannot guess either or both by that time, you may request initial police reports that contain extra information on the deceased that's not often given by the examiner's medical findings. This information may have certain details such as sex, color, location of found body, etc. You can choose to request these records, or I will coin toss. Either way, that detective will lose a half a point if you're ahead.
Okay,
I'm heads, so I win.
that's true.
Damn it. Lonnie won. All right.
Let's do this shit.
Ready for the... Let me ready up my my board here. It's got to warm up. There it is. So, first case.
I've had way too much fun with this, man.
Coroner's report. Immediate forensic findings are as followed. Subject's likely cause of death was due to 12 puncture wounds caused by a knife. The stabbings are deep enough that eliminates self-affliction, likely caused by a stronger individual. Note, another body was received with a subject that shows similar stab patterns. Can you guess who the deceased is? And with that information, might you be able to follow who the killer is? No. 12 puncture wounds. Do either of you want to request a police report?
Yes.
To obtain the police report, it'll cost you. You have to, it doesn't look good for the promotion. It's like, oh,
I'll not get promoted.
You want to take your half point?
Yeah, I'll take my half point.
I don't even know why I'm doing that because you already requested. Police report. A fingerprint was found, but notes show tampering, so there is no lead there. It looks like the photos attached to the dossier may not be usable as well due to the photos not being taken to scale. And to make matters worse, it appears that the other evidence has been bagged together, so that causes cross-contamination. We'll have to throw out much of these from the report. The only thing I can give you is that a subject appears to be mid-30s, white woman, found with the other body in front of her L.A. home.
That was a shitty hint.
Are these like famous people?
Sure. There was also blood found at the victim's ex-husband's place on his white Ford Bronco.
Is this O.J. Simpson?
Boom. Who's the deceased or deceased?
What's her face? Oh my God, what the frick was her name? O.J. Simpson and oh my God, what the frick was her name? Judgito.
Sir Lonnie, Lawn Dog, what you got?
It's O.J. Simpson.
I already established that. Thank you.
It was Kato Kalin.
Oh, that was a really big figure. He was one of the ones who covered it. He wasn't a deceased.
Oh. Mrs. Simpson.
Ah, he got it.
Is it Nicole Brown?
Yeah, it is.
God dang it. So what's the
I'll give you the two.
Oh!
I'll give you the two. I got you, honey. I'll help you out.
Will he win?
I muted this so nobody else can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I won. I guessed O.J. Simpson and
No,
Nicole
I
Brown.
get that. Is there more? Or
There's
is that
more
it?
cases. All right, moving on
there's
to the
more
next
cases. Okay.
case. Another body just came through.
Now I know what the fuck's going on.
I know, me too.
I have to put on my coat and check out the body and our bodies, or whatever you want to call it.
Got it. Okay.
Cool. That's how we're playing it. So, next case. Coroner's report. Forensic findings. Skeletal remains were found inside a garbage bag. Duct tape was fixed over the mouth. Due to decomposition, at this time, one would conclude asphyxiation as means of death. Further forensic investigations would suggest that the larva and insect progress could date the murder from 6 months prior. Body found in a trash bag. Duct tape mouth.
So, do we have as many guesses as we want?
Yeah.
Amber Harris?
No.
Is this fictional or is this?
These are all real.
These are all real. Okay. Did you say Amber Harris?
Yeah.
Okay.
2.
I got none.
Boom. Who wants to request a police report?
It's going to take some of my points away. So no.
He's at 0. You're at 2.
I'll take. Yeah, if I'm not losing anything, I'll take one.
All right, then. All right, police
So
report.
does that mean I only get like a point and a half?
Well,
So
if you
I'm at
guess the
0. You can't take.
He
any
should be at
more.
negative
you'll
1.
get-
He
if
should be
you
at negative
get
1
both
right
of
now.
these or both of the or however many points there are, you'll we're not going to go backwards. You're still just at
That's
0.
bullshit.
Yeah, do it. Point me.
He should be at negative 1 right now.
Point me, bitches.
You can't lose what you don't have. I mean, there's a chance you'll just take this badge away.
I ain't getting
So, police report. A police dog caught sent to a vehicle where chloroform was found in a trunk, which linked samples to the remains. The skeletal remains appeared to be of that of a 2-year-old.
Stop.
He did.
John Benet Ramsey?
No.
Damn. They never found her, did they?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I know this isn't right. John Jubert?
No.
John Jubert? I take that offensively.
You don't think he had it? You don't think he had it in him?
Next episode's going to be really offensive.
Okay. I do have...
John Schubert Jekyllheimer?
I do have some bonus stuff for this one. Currently, this criminal is still on the loose. I mean, that's not necessarily how it happened, but for the sake of this game, that's the only way it's going to work. But anyways, so after the criminal was caught and all this stuff kind of went under, there was a law that was created after the name of the deceased back in 2012. People were screaming at their, pod player, like, fucking I know who it is, like.
I said Amber Harris.
I don't have
Amber Alerts.
I don't have a TV, so I don't really know.
All right. Do you guys give? Do we have to do this work for you guys? Are you going to let some other detectives solve the case?
Hey, I solved the first one.
Yeah,
I'm spending time with my family now.
A little vacation?
I have no clue.
It's not Macaulay Culkin.
Nope. Did he kill somebody?
Probably.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Hollywood's a fucked up place. Yeah, let's hear it from the veterans.
After the police caught the mother of the killer,
Casey Anthony.
There it is. I think I'll give you a half point
I was going to say that he better not get points for that. This is after the fact.
I'll give him a half point.
So he's at
we'll leave it
negative
open.
0.5.
We'll leave it open. Can you guess who the deceased was?
Her daughter.
Oh, boom. 2 points. No.
What's the daughter's name?
The law that was named after her.
Anthony.
All right. The daughter's name was Kaylee. Kaylee's Law.
That's what I said.
I heard that. It just kind of came in muffled on my end.
Not my fault I got an half
Sure,
cent.
my mic is like
spider crawling on me.
Oh, though.
I said it right where you worried about your spider.
All right. So 2.5. Half.
Yeah! That means if I get 2 on this, you lose.
We got
must be loose because I'm tails.
What?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 more.
Oh, Jesus.
4 more here.
Okay.
All right. So, next body. Coroner report. Forensic findings. Subject contains 7 wounds, 4 holes conducive with a single weapon.
Jesus Christ.
We got to go find this guy. No. It wasn't Jesus.
It's logical.
I know. I did.
But 7 wounds. I mean, like, he had, his hands, his feet, and his
And then
ribs
they
inside.
whipped him with the fucking cat of 9 tails.
Pish posh.
I've read the book.
Prodded him on a little rib. Back scratcher. Police report? Who wants to
I'll just take a guess since it doesn't cost me anything. Black Dahlia.
That cost you everything. No.
Well, I got a half a point. I'm not going to ask now.
I'm not asking.
All right, I'm going to flip it. So,
Wait,
That's a clear fucking
I
box.
know. What the
there is a recycling.
Yeah, what the fuck just happened?
There is a. What did it land on? Is the recycling thing
It
on the
landed
top?
on clear, and the other side
the
is
bottom?
clear.
It landed on the recycling on top.
That'll be tails.
He's just fucking making it up as he goes now.
No shit.
No, that would be tails.
And
All right.
let me guess, I lose a half a point because I'm white.
Yeah.
I'm Canadian. I'm
how it
fucking
works.
translucent.
So, all right, 5 shells casings from a 35 special retrieved from Central Park. Blood trail led into a hotel in which a witness, the concierge, admitted to speaking with the victim before passing.
I don't know it now. I'm not going to.
So, this person was shot at 5 times. 4 hit him. He was able to retreat into a hotel and then later died. And he was in Central Park, New York, when he was shot.
What year?
1980.
See, I got that out of him for free.
That was actually, there was an extra report there. I do have an extra news report.
Biggie Smalls?
Worldly attention was brought to this murder. Body was cremated 2 days after a fateful shooting in 1980.
Martin Luther King.
That was a little bit before, wasn't it? Like this.
I don't fucking know.
73.
What's I know this isn't right.
So he was known internationally, or she. I already gave the he away. He was pretty much assassinated in New York, right in front of his hotel.
What's John F. Kennedy's brother's name?
John Lennon.
There you are.
Ah, son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's... Well, you guys are tied now. Can either of you guess the killer?
I know the name. It's right on the tip of my tongue.
Let's see.
Oh.
No, that's not it.
Might as well just say Yoko Ono.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
I'll allow it.
God, I can't think of the guy's name.
Yeah, I got nothing.
I can picture him.
He's a 3-namer.
John Wilkes Booth.
Close. But not close. Actually, I think there was something that tied John Wilkes Booth to this guy. I want to say like their sons or something where... Fuck. I know John Wilkes Booth had a son who was attached to another...
Their sons had a podcast together.
Oh. Might have been,
One talked through a Ouija board.
might have been Kennedy's death, though. Anyways, all right. Mark David Chapman. So you guys are tied. Next body. All right. Coroner report. Immediate forensic findings. Incision across jugular from ear to ear. Abdomen incisions where uterus was removed, most likely post-mortem. Cause of death, bled out.
I'm going to go with the killer, Ed Gein.
No.
Okay.
Richard Ramirez.
No.
He doesn't have a uterus?
Well, he could be the killer.
Oh, okay. You can clarify that.
You can solve for either or, so yeah. Police report? You guys are tied up. Should I flip for it?
Flip it.
Oh. Up, tails again.
Suck the dick.
So 1 to 1.5 here.
Get me, baby.
Police report. Body found in secluded area. Murder taking place between night hours. Victim is a known prostitute. Murder similar to 4 other confirmed cases.
Sounds so much like Richard Ramirez.
I suck with famous murders.
Read that again for me, please.
So there was pretty much the throat was slit. The uterus was removed. There are a total of 5 known victims. There could be more.
Is it the Zodiac?
No.
The Menendez brothers.
No.
No, they just killed their parents.
I know,
And
that's why I'm just guessing. I'm
Pretty
just
much-
throwing names out.
pretty much most of the victims are known prostitutes. So he had a way to get away with things.
Ted Bundy.
No.
The BTK?
No. You guys know a lot of murders.
Apparently not the good ones.
Just think of like one of the most famous murders.
Black Dahlia.
You already said that.
I know. It's going to be right one of these times.
Let's go across the sea.
Jack the Ripper.
Boom. That's it. Can you guess any of the 5 bodies?
Mary Matthew?
Very close.
Mary Magdalene?
No.
It's Mary something.
There's actually 2 Marys. You're not going to guess it? All right, so...
Mary Smith.
Oh, no, just... There is also a name that is shared with the previous killer from the previous body.
I don't remember that one. I moved on.
I know. I'm trying to think of what
All
it
right.
was.
I'll just give them away. So we're at, what, 3.5?
To 1, apparently.
0.5?
Because
Sorry,
every time
yeah,
you flip that
one,
motherfucking thing, it lands on tails.
Yeah. So the
Bullshit.
bodies were Mary Ann Polly Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Edowison, and Mary Jane Kelly. Next body. This one should be very easy to guess all the names.
Okay.
Well, you want me to
Charles
read it?
Manson.
Okay. Coroner report. Initial forensic findings. 23 stab wounds found on subject. A major wound being a punctured aorta.
Charles Manson.
No. It's a little bit older than that, so...
Ed Gein.
No. A little bit more older than that, too.
Ted Bundy.
Oh, no.
23 stab wounds, 1 to the aorta.
Gacy.
The one stab wound to the aorta, which was like the 2nd or 3rd stab wound, which was the final one. Or, I guess the one that actually killed him while he was still being, you know...
Bale Gunnis.
Well, the one that kind of, yeah. No.
O.J. Simpson.
Yeah, this is probably, I think the weight...
I'll pay the point.
All right, so...
Thanks, Lonnie.
3 to 1. Police report. Body found in a theater where the murder happened
Abraham Lincoln.
on the 15th of March.
Were you shooting fucking knives?
He wasn't stabbed. 26.
He's in a theater. That's what.
Oh my god, he's been shot!
They just put the bullet in the sand.
Hey, you said theater. That's all I went with.
So, body was found in a theater where the murder happened on the 15th of March.
15th of March, found in a theater, stabbed 23 times, once in the aorta, which was the killing blow.
Right. There is a bonus to this.
Is it Shakespeare?
Shakespeare isn't like, did he kill somebody?
Like William Shakespeare?
No.
Oh.
I mean, like, he's influential to this. But, yeah. So I had to translate some of the text from some of the witnesses. And it pretty much says the dude was being an asshole. He, like, pretty much killed himself. So, like, suicide. So this dude was an asshole, and he was stabbed by a bunch of people in a theater.
Ebert.
Oh, very close. Just keep hopping, little buddy. Nope.
Got none.
It was,
So far with the fucking easy one.
Yeah.
This was you might not have heard of him. Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar.
Get the fuck out of here right now. This game's done. It's a tie. We both get a point.
All right, last one. So, coroner report. Forensic findings are as followed. Subject arrived to medical examiner from hospital from medically induced coma. Wounds caused by a high-caliber weapon found 2 in the chest, 1 in the arm, 1 in the thigh, dated 6 days prior. The cause of death, homicide due to respiratory failure and cardiopulmonary arrest caused by ballistics.
Where were the wounds again?
There were
1 in the leg, 2 in the arm.
2 shot in the chest, 1 in the arm, and 1 in the thigh.
And death was the pulmonary?
Mm-hmm. He went into coma for 6 days. Or she. The only belongings from the subject was a boxing match ticket stub of Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon. You got nothing?
So it's the 90s.
I've got nothing except O.J. Simpson.
You didn't do this one too, man.
The only thing I got from that was the white vehicle.
So it's the 90s then.
See.
High profile shot in the 90s who would stomach going to a Mike Tyson fight. And I'm up 2.5 to 1. So I take this, it'll be 2 to 1. And if you get it right, you'll go 3 to 2.
Well, I ain't getting it right because I don't know shit.
If he gets it, you'll just tie 2 to 2.
Yeah, let's do it. Give me the point. Because I want to see what you'd come up with for a tiebreaker.
All right. I didn't get one. Body found off Las Vegas Strip at East Flamingo Road and Koval Lane. Black male, age 25. Subject was shot in a drive-by shooting into victim's CEO's BMW.
This isn't right. Tupac?
Ah, damn. Yep.
Is it?
You guys tied. Fuck. I got no tiebreaker. I mean, that was like 5 bodies. That should have been a tie.
So nobody gets points.
All right.
So we're all still at 1, 1, and 1.
I think I'll just take the point. I'll just win this one since you guys couldn't win it.
Eat a dick. Good job.
You too.
I had some ideas on this that I was working on for a while, and I was pretty excited about it.
Actually, it turned out pretty fun.
I also didn't give you the names of the killers of the last one, which was Decimus Brutus. You could have guessed Brutus.
E2 Brutai?
Yeah, E2 Brutai.
Booty.
Yeah.
Brutai, man. Good job.
I do have some ideas. I kind of want to use this again, but probably for like movie kills.
That'd be fun.
So, I'd probably do better at that.
Yeah.
We'll go that way then.
When you explained this game, it was like, this is going to be fucking dumb. And then you did it, and I was like, this was fun.
I like
so you exceeded my expectation.
Oh, thank you.
When you were explaining it, I was like, this is going to be fucking dumb.
It was.
And then when we were playing it, I'm like, this is fucking dumb.
So,
but I will say one thing. Your flipping device was fucking dumb.
It was.
You're using a clear fucking box. Everyone who's listening, he's using a clear box.
Oh, yeah.
Well, there's a recycling thing on the back, so I was going to say that's the tails.
Yeah, and that's what I kept landing on.
Yeah. Up, tails again. Up, heads. It's not rigged. It's good. The weight distribution on this is just, very peculiar. Because of that extra lip for your thumb to flip it open. Moving on. I kind of wanted to bring like an educational type of thing. I wanted to talk about like some archetypes.
Bathroom break.
Do you guys need to take a break? We're not going to. So, what do you guys know about archetypes?
Absolutely nothing.
Nice.
I know elf and cleric. Those are both archetypes.
See, I
Yeah.
specifically didn't do any research on this because you said it was going to be educational. So I want to see what you teach me.
You didn't. It is not my job to educate you on.
Wow.
You were one
I know.
Don't put
This
down
guy.
fucking educational if you want us to do research.
Oh wait.
Put down.
Oh wait, you're against me.
Put down Justin teaches Jeremy and Lonnie.
Well,
surprise, motherfucker.
That was really loud.
I was.
And you can skip ahead about 25 minutes if you want to.
If you know about archetypes, you get a fucking participation trophy. Skip ahead.
Archetypes was pretty much created by, well, I guess not created, but capitalized on by Carl Jung, the psychiatrist. So it's pretty much a study of practice of archetypes. It's something that borders on the cusp of woo, which I have a affinity to certain woo, like tarot and stuff. You know, like I'm not really big into like crystals or all these other.
But your wife's name is Crystal,
Oh,
so
yeah.
you are big into crystals.
That's
Got him.
bang. I don't have that one.
And for all your information, if you ever want to make Justin's eyebrows go where his hairline should be, tell him his wife has more muscles than he does. He gets pissed.
No, we have the same amount of muscles.
No, hers are much bigger than yours.
Oh, you're
She's
size.
fucking ripped.
She's okay.
See, he's already making excuses.
I don't see it. I don't.
Yeah, you don't because you're blinded.
Oh, well, I'm reading. Yeah, so I've always kind of had an affinity of like certain sorts of woo. I don't really buy too much into like
woo
tarot. I think they're like an awesome tool to use to like prompt certain forms of thought. You know, using things to symbolize something, and it's like, oh, okay, I can see how that applies in my life. And archetypes is relatively the same thing. It's pretty much a tool, much more practical, I think, than a lot of the other stuff. It's like having a team, like archetypes. Carl Jung had the 12 main ones, and there's certain people out there who have like a whole bunch, like up to like 44 of them. We're not even going to go through all of those. I just want to get like the essence of the first 12 and see how we can apply something like this into our own lives, because like I said, it's pretty practical. It's something you can learn something about yourself or other people or, you know, certain situations. Let's see.
So it's basically like another like id, super id, ego.
Just a little bit deeper.
Okay.
There's the way that Carl Jung has it. He has like your conscious state, your conscious archetypes, your unconscious, and you know, your spiritual ones.
Okay.
I don't pay too much, or I don't give too much weight to like the segments. I just think it's kind of cool to know like the strengths and weaknesses of certain ones, and be like, oh, okay, I see how that's working, or where I can like build new strengths, I guess.
So is it like along the same lines as like your chakras, like getting your archetypes in line?
Not so much.
Okay.
It's more moldable, pliable.
Okay.
Whereas chakras it seems more concrete.
Okay.
And you have to have more of a faith into it, I guess.
Okay.
I don't really buy too much into chakra. I like the concept. It fascinates me, but
just not your cup of tea.
Not so much. So archetypes means a basic generalization of a person or thing. In Greek, it means original pattern. So you can substitute anything for a sort of archetype, if you will. Like how you were kind of saying earlier, the cleric or whatever. I mean, those are archetypes. They have strengths and weaknesses, and you assuming those sorts of roles kind of plays something into certain parts of your life, whether it be in relationships or work or what have you. So let's just move into the actual archetypes themselves. So the 12 main ones, there are the... Oh, why is some of the... Okay, now. There are the 12 main ones. The innocent are also known as the saint and the dreamer. There's the everman or orphan, the hero or warrior, the outlaw or rebel or misfit, the explorer or seeker or wanderer, the creator or artist, the ruler or king or queen, the magician or wizard or inventor or visionary, the lover or friend, the caregiver, the jester or fool or joker, and the sage, or scholar, or mentor. I'm putting these ors in because they're known as different ones, like depending on where you go, but they are relatively the exact same thing. So I'm only going to refer to them by their first one. So the innocent, everyman, hero, outlaw, explorer, creator, ruler, magician, lover, caregiver, jester, and sage. Do you guys identify with any one of these just from the name alone?
I would probably say the caregiver for myself.
Just say there was a Joker?
Yeah.
Probably the Joker.
I can see that. I would assume myself to be either the magician or creator, but
I could see a creator.
Yeah, it depends on, like I said, like the most of us have like a dominant archetype, so but they can shift, and you can have traits of either or. And the more you assume these roles, I mean, like you can spread and equal out. It's pretty much like an RPG type of thing. It's like, oh, I'm kind of weak in this area, so I'm gonna put this ability point towards that, but more cognitively, I guess. So let's take a few examples. Like Carl Jung, his 12 personality archetypes are the foundation of ancient works like the Odyssey, and we can also see them in contemporary stories like The Matrix. We'll go into the first four, the ego types. So the innocent, I'm going to give a list of like their core desire, their goal, their greater fear, weakness, etc. So just so you can get a more full reference of these characters. So the innocent is pretty much like free yourself. They want to get to paradise. That's their desire. Their goal is to pretty much be happy. Their fear is to be punished for doing something bad or wrong. They have a strategy which is mainly to do the right thing. Their weakness is, boring for all of their naive innocence. Their talent is faith and optimism. They exhibit happiness, goodness, optimism, safety, romance, and youth, and wants to please others. So the innocent in certain like media, they're kind of like the Forrest Gump or Alice in Wonderland. So those will be like those archetypes. The everyman, they're pretty much like everybody's created equal. They want to fit in. They want to connect with others, to feel belonged. They don't want to be left out or to stand out from a crowd. They want to develop ordinary, solid virtues, but down to earth, the common touch. The orphan archetype walks around with open wounds. They feel betrayed and disappointed. They want other people to take charge of their life. When no one does, they feel disappointed. They tend to spend time with people who feel just like them. They often plays the victim. They pretend to be innocent, and the orphan has a cynical side and manipulative talent. So these weaknesses are also, as Carl Jung kind of called them, the shadow archetypes. So people who are known as the innocent, the everyman, is like Frodo, Luke Skywalker, Harry Potter. So they have their group of friends around them who kind of helps them do everything, but they just want, equality in a sense. So the next one, the hero. Where there's a will, there's a way. Their desire is to prove one's worth through courageous acts. Their goal is to expert mastery in a way that improves the world, physical or mental. Their greatest fear is weakness, vulnerability, and being a chicken. Their strategy is to be as strong and competent as possible. Their shadow is arrogance, always needing another battle to fight, underestimation, egotistical. Their talent is competence and courage. On a mission to make the world a better place, the hero is courageous, bold, inspirational. The axis of a hero's life is power. The hero has an uncommon vitality and resistance that they use to fight for power or honor. They'll do anything to avoid losing. In fact, they don't lose because they never give up. The hero can be overly ambitious and controlling. So in media, these are the Captain Americas, the Wonder Womans, James Bond, Gladiator, Maximus. Those are the heroes. And caregiver, this is what you think you or feel you identify as.
Yeah.
They're the love your neighbor as yourself.
Oh, that's wrong.
Off to a bad start. Their desire is to protect and care for others. Their fear is being selfishness and ingratitude. Their strategy of doing things is, to do things for others. Their weakness is martyrdom and being exploited, easily deceived. Their talent is compassion, generosity. The caregiver feels stronger than other people. Consequently, they offer maternal protection to those around them. They want to protect people from harm and try to prevent any danger or risk from threatening other people's happiness. In extreme cases, the caregiver turns into a martyr who constantly reminds everyone of their sacrifices. So
some of those are right, but some of those could not be more than wrong.
I was going to say, if it's describing you, it's either completely wrong or dead on.
Right.
They're like the mother figures. In media, these are like your Samwise and Miss Weasley, Oscar Schindler.
In his list.
Yeah, his whole list.
Every single thing on his list.
So, number 5, the Explorer. Their motto is pretty much don't fence me in. Their desire is the freedom to find out who they are through exploring the world. Their goal is to experience a better, more authentic, more fulfilling life. Biggest fear is getting trapped, conformity, inner emptiness. Their strategy of doing things is to journey, to seeking out and experiencing new things. Escape from boredom. Their weakness is aimless wandering, becoming a misfit. Talent is autonomy, ambition, being true to one's soul, finds inspiration in travel, risk, discovery, and the thrill of new experiences. The Explorer is a bold traveler. They set out without a clear path and are always open to novelty and adventure. The Explorer has a deep love of discovering new places and new things about themselves. They're always searching for perfection, and they're never satisfied. These are pretty much your Tony Starks, your Cleopatras.
They're anus wanderers? Is that what you said?
They wander from anus to anus.
Yeah. That's what I have here.
Okay.
We'll go with that. So the Rebel are the Joker. Are you listening?
I'm listening, but I guess I didn't realize Rebel was before that.
Your eyes are closed.
This is all the non-mask wearers out there. So the Rebels. So here we go.
Boom. So their motto is, rules are made to be broken. Their core desire is revenge or revolution. Their goal is to overturn what isn't working. Their greatest fear is to be powerless or ineffectual. Their strategy is to disrupt, destroy, or shock. Their weakness is crossing over to the dark side or crime. Their talent is outrageousness, radical freedom. They question authority and breaks the rules. The rebel craves rebellion and revolution. The rebel is a transgressor. They provoke people and don't care at all about other people's opinions. As a result, they like going against the grain and thinking for themselves. They don't like to be pressured or influenced. The negative side to the rebel archetype is that they can become self-destructive. So these are pretty much like your Phoebe Buffets, your Ferris Bueller, Katniss Everdeen's, your Bart Simpsons, to name a few.
You just said all this like powerful, like, yeah, they rebel against the world. You could name any anarchist on the planet. You start with Phoebe Buffet.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Way to fucking throw that softball up there. Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Fucking Saddam Hussein. Phoebe Buffet.
Oh, no.
And Bart Simpson.
You need to aim a little bit higher.
Did I miss my mark?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
Jeremy, I don't think that's you at all.
No, I was thinking more creator after, but go ahead.
You can't change it now. No. All right, so the Lover, their motto is, you're the only one. Their core desire is
definitely not me.
Intimacy and experience. Their goal is being in a relationship with people, work, and surroundings they love. Their greatest fear is being alone. They're pretty much like a wallflower, unwanted, unloved. Well, that's their fears. Their strategy is to become more and more physically and emotionally attractive.
Hand jobs.
That works. $25. Their weakness is outward directed desire to please others at risk of losing own identity. So, yeah, their talent is passion and gratitude, appreciation and commitment. So they enjoy everything that's pleasing to the senses, and they value beauty in everything, in every sense of the word. So these are your Jack and Roses, your Romeo and Juliets, both DiCaprio.
Your Joey Tribbiani's.
Your Phoebe Buffets.
Now, you guys are getting it now. All right, so the creator, the artist, their motto is, if you can imagine it, it can be done. Now you're on board with that. So
you can dream it, be it.
Their desire is to create things of enduring value, to realize a vision. Their fear is mediocre vision or execution. Their strategy is to develop artistic control and skill, tasked to create culture, express own vision. Weakness is perfectionism, bad solutions. Their talent is creativity and imagination. The creator has a profound desire for freedom because they love novelty. They love to transform things in order to make something completely new. The creator is clever, nonconformist, and self-sufficient. They're imaginative and good-humored. However, they can also be inconsistent and spend more time thinking than actually doing. That's me a lot. These are like your Willy Wonkas. Or Willy Wonkers.
I think that's more me.
So the Jester. Actually, no, sorry. The Jester is like the Joker. My fault.
So this one's mine?
Possibly. The Fool, the Jester, the Joker, whatever.
Who you calling a fool, mother?
That's talking. Are we gonna do this? Do you want to bang?
Let me get my
Neither
camera.
of us are the lovers, so no, we can't do that.
Oh, that's what that means.
Bang,
So,
bang, bang.
the Jester. You only live once. Core desire is to live in the moment with full enjoyment. Their goal is to have a great time and lighten up the world.
That's not true at all about Jeremy. Jeremy's worried about
I know.
everything. I can't eat that.
Oh.
I can't go there. I'll get sick. I can't eat that. My guts will explode.
Okay.
I can't step on that crack.
You
I
see
might
your
hurt
point?
my ankle.
Sees your point.
I'll
Point taken.
I hope you get stomach ulcers so you can see what it's like to eat stuff and the misery you go through.
The Jester's strategy is to play, make jokes, be funny. Their weakness is frivolity, wasting time. Their talent is joy. Bring joy to the world through humor, fun, irreverence, and often likes to make some mischief. The Jester likes to laugh and even at themselves. They don't wear any masks and tend to break down other people's walls. They never take themselves seriously because their goal is to enjoy life. The negative side of the Jester is that they can be lewd, lazy, and greedy. These are your Timon and Pumbas. These are the you can do it guy, or the Captain Jack Sparrow, Chandler Bing.
That's not Jeremy because he hates fun.
Oh yeah, no,
Remember?
he hates.
We talked about that. He hates fun.
He hates fun. He hates absorbing fun, but he likes to give fun. Oh, does he?
Apparently, this turned into the Bash Jeremy segment.
Oh yeah. No.
And Phoebe Buffet.
All right, so the Sage. A few more here. The Sage is a free thinker. Their intellect and knowledge are their reason for living, their essence. They seek to understand the world and their being by using their intelligence and analytical skills. They always have a fact, a quote, or a logical argument on the tip of their tongue. Their motto is, truth will set you free. Their core desire is to find the truth, use intelligence and analysis to understand the world. Their biggest fear is being duped, misled, or ignorance. Their strategy is seeking out information and knowledge, self-reflection, and understanding thought process. Their weakness is they can study details forever and never act. Their talent is wisdom and intelligence. They're committed to helping the world gain deeper insight and wisdom. The Sage serves as a thoughtful mentor or advisor. These are your Mary Poppins, your Yodas, your Mr. Miyagi's. So I kind of identify as this as like one of my top 3. We'll go into that later here. So the Magician is the next one. Their motto is, I make things happen. Their desire is understanding the fundamental laws of the universe. Their goal is to make dreams come true. Their fear is unintended negative consequences. Their strategy is to develop a vision and live by it. Their weakness is becoming manipulative. Talent is finding win-win solutions. Their wish is to create something special and make dreams a reality. The Magician is seen as visionary and spiritual. The Magician is like a great revolutionary. They regenerate and renew not just for themselves, but for others as well. They're constantly growing and transforming. The negative side of the Magician archetype is that their mood can be contagious. They sometimes turn positive events into negative ones. These are kind of like your Thanos, your Sherlock Holmes, your Doc Browns, Darth Vaders. All right, last one. The Ruler. These are your kings and queens. So the power isn't everything. It's the only thing. Their core desire is control. Their goal is to create a prosperous, successful family or community. Their strategy is exercise power. Their fear is chaos, being overthrown. Their weakness is being authoritarian, unable to delegate. Their talent is responsibility. Leadership creates order from the chaos. The ruler is typically controlling and stern, yet responsible and organized. The ruler is a classic leader. They believe they should be the one to bring order to any situation. The ruler is stable, strives for excellence, and wants everyone to follow their lead. They tend to have a plenty of reasons why everyone should listen to them. So yeah, these are pretty much like your King Arthurs, your Cersei Lannisters, Monica Gellers.
Where does Ross fall into this?
He's more like the lover.
What?
He's stupid.
Head over heels for
Yeah.
all the women. Nice.
But yeah, so what's the reason for these? They're pretty much just to understand yourself. So like I've kind of said earlier, they're used as like little prompts. If you can understand what these archetypes are and how they what is your defining one currently at this situation, you can understand its weaknesses and kind of learn or accelerate a solution faster. Take, for example, like your Batmans or Jokers. Those are also archetypes, like your hero and your rebel.
Yeah, your antagonist, protagonist, yeah.
So, we do this kind of subconsciously already. will have like favorite characters. I feel we do anyways. And you kind of want to emulate like their personalities in a sense. Like as an actor myself, like I use certain characters as motivations for creating another character that I want to try to portray. But, or if there's, one of my favorite characters is Tarzan. It's like he is kind of a combination of probably like the jester, the hero, and the explorer. But I don't necessarily feel like I identify with those, but I know the weaknesses. So, you like I said, you have like a dominating one. So yeah, you use them to pretty much build new strengths. That's it.
Oh,
Cool.
That's it. Yeah.
Shut up and move on.
Well, we want to get to the third or fourth segment. You guys kind of liked sequels, right?
Some. It's hard to beat an original.
So what we did here was we kind of pulled out a bunch of sequels, and it was kind of hard to choose from. So is it correct that you wanted us to choose like any consecutive sequel or just the 1 and 2?
So basically, it would be the one right after the first one. So, for instance, if it was the Friday the 13th series, it's either. So basically, what we're doing is we're going to reveal, each of us pick 3 sequels that we thought were better than the original movie. We're not talking remakes; we're talking sequels. So, for instance, like I said, the Friday the 13th franchise, if it would be, you thought the second one was better than the first one.
You have terrible taste in movies.
Yeah, exactly. But like 3 through 9, 10, whatever, they don't exist in this. So you can't pick like number 3 was better than the first one. It was the second one was better than the first one.
So I can't say Fast and Furious 15.
You can't say Fast and Furious 15, no.
I can't say Fast and Furious at all because none.
But you could say Too Fast, Too Furious, which is on my list.
Is it really?
Yes, it is.
Man, I'm so sorry for that.
So I guess I'm going to start this out. I'm going to start this one out. Yes, so I thought Too Fast, Too Furious was a way better sequel. And if we're going to go that route, I think it's the best one out of all the Fast and Furious franchise movies. I just thought that one had a better storyline. The first one was, I don't know, it was just kind of a weird movie. You didn't know what it was going into it. You knew it had to do with cars and racing, but I thought the second one was good. Tyrese Gibson is in the second one, and he's notable as a musician, singer, and I didn't know how he was going to be as an actor, and he actually was probably the best part of that movie.
T.I.? Tyrese Gibson? T.I.?
No. Tyrese and T.I. are 2 different people. We have to... We got a culture.
I definitely don't see you listening to that type of music. I didn't listen to Tyrese Gibson. I didn't listen to any of his music really, but I
He's
knew
got some
he
pretty
was
good smooth stuff. That's
R&B style stuff.
Okay.
That's
I don't think I've ever heard an R&B song.
Sexy man right there.
Yeah.
Good.
But he had
Good for
him and Paul Walker had good chemistry. I think Tyrese was definitely the comedic relief to the movie.
I like, is it the second one? No, The Rock wasn't in the second one.
The Rock didn't come in until like part 50, I think.
Now, some of the
Too Fast
bags on Tyrese or whatever, that was pretty funny. Some of the outtakes.
Now, the guy that played the villain, Cole, and I'm probably going to mess up his last name, Cole Hauser or something of that nature.
That's that guy.
He's
Hosier.
He was the perfect villain for this. This villain was meant to like have money and supposed to, not necessarily he wasn't killing people, but he had people that would kill for him. He had this vibe about him that was very, it could be the friendly neighbor next door, but with the snap of a finger, could be the guy exactly. But no, that was definitely my first one. We're not going to spend too much time on each of these, but Too Fast, Too Furious, way better than the Fast and Furious.
Oh, my first one I got here. I thought the Human Centipede 2, the full sequence, was exponentially better than the Human Centipede.
What?
Yeah. Have either of you guys seen The Human Centipede 2?
Those are awesome. They make me hungry.
I don't think I saw. I have the second one. I haven't seen it. I saw the first one.
So basically, the second one exists in a world where the first one was literally just a movie. And if you watch it from an outside perspective,
So this world?
basically, the first movie was so much more frightening of an idea than it was a movie.
Wasn't the first one supposed to be 100% medically accurate?
Yeah. So the idea of the movie was so much better than the movie itself. Not that The Human Centipede was bad, but the thought of The Human Centipede was rough. The filming was decent for a lower budget movie, but The Human Centipede 2 takes the disturbing nature and the violence up to 11. It's shot in black and white. The main antagonist literally does not have any dialogue in the movie, just grunts and screams. He wants to replicate the sequence of the people. Instead of doing it scientifically, he's just cutting people and stapling them to other people and duct taping them together. And instead of 3 people in the sequence, there's 12 people in the sequence.
Nice. It's good to have a hobby.
Right. And just his daily life of being just a disgusting human being. It's not a movie to watch if you're a fan of Heart, but it is a fantastically disturbing piece of cinema.
I do need to watch that one. I don't know why I haven't, because I enjoyed the first one, and I know they said the second one was supposed to be 100% medically inaccurate.
Oh yeah, he's just cutting people with I think a pair of scissors and stapling their mouths to the assholes of other people and then duct taping them together.
That's how I did it. Or would do it.
Yeah. And then the third one goes back to a basically raunchy dark comedy. So the first one is trying to be scary, but they dropped the ball. The second one makes up for all the scares that weren't in the second one, and then the third one goes back to just a good old comedy romp of horror.
I did think that the doctor in the first one was
creepy.
Brilliantly creepy.
Yeah, he is.
So let me ask you before we go on to Justin's, if in the first one, if the 3 of us were going to be the Human Centipede,
you would be eating my asshole.
Which position would you want?
Well, I'm the cutest, so I would have to be in front. Because you ain't fucking with this.
Damn it. All right. Well.
And I'm the fattest, so I'm giving the best food.
Yeah, I will probably.
No, we don't have to we can all agree on the same one. I'm just saying, which would you prefer? Do you want to be the middle person that has?
Can he call dibs?
I don't care if we can or not. I just did.
I'd be the first one. Just because I'm not having
I would want to be the first one because nobody wants to eat shit, let alone shit from other people's shit.
Okay, so now if we had to decide right now,
if I'm not the first one, I'm the second one because I'd rather eat one person's shit than shit from other people's shit to other people's shit. Do you get what I'm saying?
But if you're the third one, you would be eating 2 people's worth of shit. And I feel like there would be more nutrients from 2 people's shit than 1 people's shit.
Yeah, that's just not going to go down.
But you're probably going to be dead by the time it gets to you.
Well, what happens if you're the last one and the person in the middle dies? You're straight fucked at that point.
You're just going to have to start.
That's what makes you fucked at that point, is if the middle person dies.
Well, if the person ahead of them can, work it within them to, use your nose to take in some, pockets of air to blow it through, they can get something going.
Well, the nose isn't adhered. It's just the mouth. The nose is on top.
Yeah, so you're still getting air.
Yeah.
So you get those air pockets and push it down.
What do you do on ab day? Does the centipede just tip over and you work the abs? That's why it would suck to be number 2. Oh. You don't get to work on abs. You're gonna look like this fucking gut.
I don't really think there's any benefit of being number 3.
Well, if it was the 3 of us...
Sorry, number 15? I don't know, the last one.
I'd say if it was the 3 of us had to do this, Justin, you'd have to be number 3 because you're the most well-built out of all of us.
You have the strongest legs.
So I gotta watch you guys die?
So you will, yeah.
Yeah.
Just keeps it.
And you can't be number 1 because you have the biggest mouth out of the 3 of us. So you'd be talking so much shit, we'd all die instantly.
Right. And I don't know if I can keep up with the load that you're putting out.
I'm the most polite out of the three of us, so I
Right.
figure I would have the
How did
best
this
chance of us
episode
living.
turn into like bashing on me?
I'm not
It's not,
bashing.
we're not bashing on you.
Yes, it
We're
is.
just saying
You're saying I talk too much. I don't have fun. And
Well, you don't have fun.
We
is
didn't
the
say
truth.
that. None of us said that.
No, I said
what
he
you said.
can't.
We
He's
could
no fun.
rewind it 3 times and take it out.
I'm just saying I am better with people.
He's saying that
What the fuck does that have to do with
he's
fun?
better than you.
Because I would keep us alive more from talking people out of
He
murdering
can
us.
pinch one off and send it down.
I have polite poops.
Yeah, we can little niblets, little snacks. You know, he can probably ration it out because I am no good at portion control.
And you see what he's fucking drinking.
Yeah,
we
that
don't
will
want
go
this coming
straight
down the
through.
pipe.
Yeah, I will clean all of us out the
That has
first go.
nothing to do. We didn't even discuss this for the first 2 times that
I
it
got
was
that on
brought
my,
up,
I got
and we
that
bashed
on my
on
shirt.
me. So.
And look at the fucking hole. It's ate my shirt.
Yeah. So how do we want to set us up? I'll let you go first. I'll go second, and then you can take my shit.
Huh? I'm lost now.
I go me, Jeremy, you.
I do not want to steal it away from him because look at that.
Yeah.
He if he survives, he still has a career.
Baby fresh skin.
I love you though.
I guess just put me in the position that dies first because apparently I'm the one that's bringing everybody down.
Don't be
so.
like that.
Oh.
So go on.
Don't be like that.
Next.
You're the most talented out of the three of us.
But apparently that doesn't mean anything when I
When we have-
don't
don't
you,
have
don't
I don't
you
have
get
fun.
all emo on us.
When we have you behind us, we know we can do anything.
Yeah. Moving on.
What do you got?
Yeah. All right, so my sequel. It's actually a lesser-known sequel. A lesser-known fact that it is a sequel. Desperado. Antonio Banderas as El Mariachi. So Desperado is the.
Seems very racist.
It's not. It was actually my first VHS tape I bought. I was like,
No,
oh,
the fact that
really?
his name's El Mariachi.
That's his name, El. Yeah. His name is
His last name is Mariachi?
Mariachi.
Wow.
That's what he's known
Call
for.
Paco.
They didn't want to. He supported this. He's like, right on. He's like, yeah, wait, go for it, man.
Sounds nothing like him.
Huh. Das ist good. Das ist fantastisch. Anyways, so the first one was El Mariachi, and that was starring Carlos Gallardo. And man, that movie, the acting in that was horrible. I mean, there was a few believable parts, but like it was just very unnatural, especially as the lead. And Antonio Banderas took Carlos's role as El in the second one. The third one in the trilogy is Once Upon in Mexico, all Robert Rodriguez movies. But yeah, it was cool. It was awesome. It was probably something I wanted to be, I guess. I remember back in high school, I had like this shirt, and I had, a button-up like jacket shirt type of thing, and I also had like a Sting shirt with a scorpion on it, and I cut out the scorpion because El Mariachi in Desperado has a scorpion on his back, and I like safety pinned it to my, jacket. Had the long hair and all that. It was lame, but it worked.
Glad you said it.
It worked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Desperado is pretty much about this musician coming back to get his revenge, which he kind of did in the first one, but it wasn't. It was a miss. The original Carlos Gallardo came back as Campa in this one with the dual machine gun guitar cases, which was kind of cool. Very unrealistic. One of Danny Trejo's very first appearances was in this one, has to do with the knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think they remade it as a Pixar film called Coco.
Nope.
No?
Nope. I
Haven't
don't
seen
remember
any
Danny
of
Trejo in that one.
He was in it?
Although it would have been
I'm
a lot
sure
better.
he's in it.
But yeah. That's my first sequel.
Round the horn back to the J-Dog.
All right, so I'm going with a comedy movie here.
Sure. I love you.
You're the best.
Which you might be shocked that I did a comedy movie since I'm no fun.
I didn't say it.
Horrible Bosses 2.
Awesome.
That's a good movie, yeah.
It's got Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day. Features Jennifer Aniston, Kevin Spacey. That's probably not a name we should mention, I guess.
He's a good actor.
Chris Christoph Waltz, and the main villain is Chris Pine.
Does that one still have Colin Farrell or not? Is it Colin Farrell? Not
No.
Colin Farrell.
Jamie Foxx.
No, the Colin, the cute guy who they make look really stupid.
Because he died in the first one.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he was shot by Kevin Spacey's character in the first one.
Oh.
But it does have Jamie Foxx in it as Motherfucker Jones.
Good stories, man.
I mean, both of them are good, but I just think Horrible Bosses 2, it kind of how the way I feel about it if I wrote Unemployed 2, I think it would just almost write itself. The first one set up all the characters, but it had a very basic, fun plot, but the second one had a lot of twists and turns in it. Chris Pine plays an amazing character in it. He starts out a bad guy, he turns a good guy, and he turns out a bad guy again at the end.
Twist.
Yep. They the three of them, Bateman, Sudeikis, and Day, they have probably the best chemistry. I think that they all have different cadences to their comedy, and they just all three just mesh well together.
I think Jason Bateman brings that out of people. Like, Jason Bateman's comedy just meshes well with people.
I don't even know how to describe his comedy. It's
it's dry. It's super dry, but yet hits on beats that just meshes well with everybody.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I just think Sudeikis is just the smart ass of the group. Charlie Day is the dumb one, but also the one that has his life most together because he's married and has kids. But I also like in the second one that they're able to. You normally don't like jokes and sequels recycled from the first one, but they do it very well in this second one. Like in the first one, when Jason Sudeikis and Jason Bateman both break into Kevin Spacey's house, he says something about, like, Jason Sudeikis said, I'd like to bend her over the barrel and show her the 50 states. And Jason Bateman's like, that's not a saying. He's like, yeah, it is. I think it is, blah, blah, blah. Well, in the second one, when they go visit Kevin Spacey in prison, he's just like, I do like the way that he bent you guys over a barrel and showed you the 50 states. And it's just, they do very well at recycling the humor. So I definitely recommend both movies, but I think Horrible Bosses 2 is going to be one that you're going to have the most fun with.
Who directed that?
Ooh, I don't know the director off the top of my head. I'll look it up while Lonnie reads his.
I think, I've always liked Jennifer Aniston, she's known for her comedy, especially for Rachel.
I bet. Yeah, because you have a fascination with Friends tonight.
This is the first time I'm mentioning it, I think.
Oh, sorry.
But no, I think
we cut that other segment.
I think this Horrible Bosses movies, I guess, really made her shine. I think this is...
It made her a potty mouth.
Yeah, that too. I think that's might have been why I appreciate it, because they just let her loose.
Right. Well, boys, I'm going to shock you both, and I'm going to step outside the horror genre for a minute. I'm going to talk about an action sci-fi movie.
Oh.
Yeah.
Are we talking about Jumanji?
We're not talking about Jumanji. And we all know that Star Wars A New Hope is one of the greatest movies of all time.
Do we?
Yes, we do.
I didn't know that.
But it is overshadowed by my number 2 pick, Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back. Shake your heads. But The Empire Strikes Back, in my eyes, is the best Star Wars movie of all time. Haters.
I don't like Star Wars. I don't like Star Trek. I don't like space movies.
Battlestar Galactica? What's that other one? What's that good one? That was
Star Wars
movie. There was a TV show that was fuck, man. Why am I?
Anyway, Empire Strikes Back, in my opinion, is the best Star Wars movie of all time.
Dragonfly? Yeah.
Ignore the children talk. Anyway, best Star Wars movie of all time. It progressed the plot to a certain point. It had some amazing twists. And you are all wrong. Darth Vader does not say, Luke, I am your father. It's not said in the movie at all. You should watch it again and hear the actual saying. Luke loses his hand. It's the Empire Strikes Back twist. It happens in Clone Wars. It
Hands are
happens.
handy.
Yeah. Every second movie in the Star Wars saga.
So what does he
someone
really
loses a
say?
hand.
No, I am your father.
Yeah, I think it is.
It's
he doesn't say Luke.
he just said, "Yeah, I'm your father."
I thought there was a no to it too. He might have said. We'll find out.
We'll find
We're
out.
preaching inaccurate.
Please make a comment on our Facebook page.
My sister doesn't watch Star Wars.
All right.
Well,
Moving on. What you got?
Most sequels, they're not necessarily as good without the first one. You know, the first one really sets the stage. My second sequel, I really wanted to pick Godfather 2 because I loved, Michael Corleone's more caustic view, but I had to throw that away. I picked Clerks 2. Always been like a big Kevin Smith fan, Jay Muse, all the whole gang. Adding a few other characters into Clerks 2 was awesome.
Good old Randall.
Yeah, it's like you can't have Clerks 2 without Clerks 1. Clerks 1 set that cultural impact, but Clerks 2 is like so much more refined. Not only with a bigger budget, but Kevin Smith had more experience under his belt. He used more risky angles, and it was much more of a cinematic experience, if you will, for a comedy. It was just really well done.
Couldn't make a movie like that nowadays. Too many people would be offended.
What are you talking about? We try. Both of the movies banked off their intelligent humor, which I think kind of turns a lot of people off who aren't necessarily into the bigger picture.
Right.
But yeah, so many storylines going on. Like you're following, Jay and Silent Bob, Randall and the crew, and
you're following Dante's storyline. You're following Randall's storyline. Jay Silent Bob's storyline.
And what's the stud? Kelly and the stud.
Oh yeah, that was.
Kelly can be a guy's name too.
I still think the best part is the opening when
He's gonna masturbate.
not Randall, but God, what the hell's the other guy's name? Dante. When the shop's on fire and he just walks in like business as usual, and then the firefighters are kicking him out and stuff like that. I thought that was a great start to the movie.
That, and with the reboot, they went back to that. With yours, you were talking about how using inside jokes. This is just riddled with inside jokes from the previous works, not just Clerks, but Mallrats and all that too. So I always like that, appreciate it. It's not a standalone movie, but you can enjoy it by itself. Before you go on to your third one, let's kind of discuss our honorable mentions before we
I've got 2 honorable mentions because I figured they would probably be on one of your guys' lists. Terminator 2.
Boom, that was one of mine.
And then Batman the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
I have a Batman, but it's not Dark Knight.
You thought?
I've got Batman and Batman Returns.
Was better than Batman? No.
Those are the best. Michael Keaton's the best Batman, in my opinion.
Yeah. He's the best Batman. He's not the best Bruce Wayne.
Live action?
No, best Batman.
Best Batman.
Yes.
Beyond was my favorite.
100% agree. Which one?
Beyond the cartoon, Beyond.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for sure.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's dark for a kid show.
How old is that?
It's probably late 90s.
Late 90s, early 2000s, yeah. Probably about the time we were graduating high school.
I'll have to look at that one.
It's pretty cool. It had a lot more stuff. It was the mouth-covered Batman. It was full face.
So
on the count of 3, worst Joker in history. 1, 2, 3. Leto.
Oh, yeah. Juggalo Joker for sure. My honorable mentions, Batman, Batman Returns, and my other honorable mention were Alien and Aliens.
I just thought of another one that would be on my honorable mention. But Aliens and Aliens. I don't know that I've seen the I've seen one Alien movie.
Yeah.
I can't remember which one it was.
Was it Predator vs. Aliens?
Oh, good old Bill Paxton. Game over, man. Game over.
Home Alone 2.
That was an awesome one. I don't know if
That's got a president in it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put that. They're tying
The vacuum guy?
Yeah.
So he's doing the same thing he is now, sending little kids out in the middle of nowhere.
As a huge Nightcrawler fan, X2 would have been one of my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Godfather 2, as I said earlier. Yeah, I also said Terminator 2, The Dark Knight. The one that we all picked, but we all had to take off of it, was Magic Mike 2. So.
No, I haven't got to my third one yet.
Magic Mike 2, more sausage, extra large.
Man, it was just an amazing movie all around. But
was that the one you get to see?
Oh yeah,
the boobies in it, or
yeah, the male boobies?
No, yeah,
the Goyle boobies.
Is that the one with Matthew McConaughey, or is he in
I
both?
Think both of them are. We should know. That's like one of our favorite movies.
Couldn't remember. I just get so excited I pass out right away.
Yeah, like last month when we slept over and watched that. Read through like some quizzes in Cosmo and painted our nails and shit.
Don't joke, I get Cosmo here.
Do you?
The guy who lived here before me, named Scott Davis. So Scott Davis, if you're a listener, I still get your Cosmo and I appreciate it.
Man, every issue, how to have the best sex of your life. It's like you didn't.
It's not true.
It's like you didn't give us all everything from the last issue.
They assume it's with two people, but it's really hard when you're alone.
This is no. Wait. Is that a good thing?
Like
it's much harder when you're alone?
When you read some of those, like give your significant other the best head ever. I just can't reach.
Ever since I
just can't do it.
Ever since I got that yoga book, no need to leave the house. Go ahead. What's your third?
So my third one is a horror movie.
Yay.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Sucked.
Really?
I love the original, but I just you know me. You know me. I like 80s. I think 80s had the best music and the best horror movies. And obviously, the first Texas Chainsaw Massacre was in 1974, and then 12 years later, Part 2 came out in 86. I like the look of Leatherface more in Part 2. I like the extra humor that was added to Leatherface. And then that opening bridge scene where the two guys are in the car and they're alongside in the truck and he's got the chainsaw and stuff like that. That's what really got me hooked on the band Oingo Boingo, which is up there as one of my favorite bands because their song "No One Lives Forever" is playing as they're being chased down on this bridge.
Remind myself of that. I'm like, in Jeremy's favorite band is like Chubba Wubba or something.
Chubba Wubba. Sounds like a 2-year-old trying to say Chubba Wubba.
Chubba, yeah.
Chubba Wubba.
Yeah.
But yeah, and it was obviously you mentioned it too. It brought in Chop Top, Bill Moseley. Him and Leatherface have great chemistry in that. He's kind of a bully to Leatherface, although everyone's pretty much a bully to Leatherface and his family. But I also like it because of there's more colors to Part 2.
Right. Cinematically, it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Part 1 was very gritty and darker, more grainy, I guess you could say, whereas Part 2 is bright and beautiful. And it's kind of like House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. Right. Like Corpses is just colorful and beautiful, and then Rejects is just dark and grainy. And I think that to give off a scary horror vibe with bright colors is more of a challenge. And so
I mean, normally I see you as more like a traditionalist. Like, do you like it when they change things up like that? I mean, well, obviously in this case you kind of do. Like, would you rather them stay strict on how they present the horror, killers, etc.? Or do you?
It depends. I mean, I don't like too much change, and this basically was the same story, Part 2. I just liked his look a little bit better.
Like Leatherface is a little bit more sympathetic in this one, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like
he's got a love interest in this one.
Well, right, that's what I mean.
And that scene where he takes the chainsaw and like air humps with it, that's classic. And Carolyn Williams is great, man.
Fantastic.
Like,
Carolyn Williams is good in everything she does.
And she's more believable that she could stand up and fight for herself than Marilyn Burns was.
I think my favorite thing about the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 was their marketing campaign. Because if you look at the poster of Texas Chainsaw 2, it's actually the same exact poster as The Breakfast Club.
Yep.
And that's what like got a lot of traffic to that movie is people like, oh, what's this going to be? It's going to be a cheesy comedy. And then it was just a balls out great horror movie.
Yeah. And the gore was there.
Right.
I mean, there was a lot more gore in this one than the first one because at the times it was
right. Well, wasn't the first one? They had very minimal gore.
Yeah, I don't think there was much. I think the most blood you saw was
with a hand cut.
In the very beginning. Yeah, but the hitchhiker. But yeah, this one was. It was
the hitchhiker butt.
It was. I don't know. Like I really wish that I would have been 3 years old when this movie came out. I really wished I was older when this movie came out because it would have been fun to see the advertisements for it and to go to the theater and watch it. But yeah, so that was my third one.
All right, for my third one, a movie that a lot of people don't consider a sequel, but I consider it a sequel. Sequel to Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah.
I think Dawn of the Dead, not that Night of the Living Dead, once again, was not a fantastic movie and jump-started the genre, but Dawn of the Dead just had everything done right. It magnified the horror that was zombies, but it made the people who were being haunted so much better. It made them smarter. It made them more capable. It put them in an environment that was more limited. But it also brought in that human element that you also have to worry about. So not only do you have this ever-present menace that is the zombies, well, now you have to deal with a human presence as well. So amazingly directed by Romero, beautiful. The only zombie movies we were seeing before that were in black and white and really crappy. Not that Zombie was a bad movie. I love Zombie, but Dawn of the Dead was just fantastic. I loved it. I didn't care much for the remake. It was okay, but I'm not really a fan of fast zombies. Like, there's a market and a genre.
Does it scare you?
No, it's just unrealistic. Like, fast twitch muscle fibers
Hell yeah.
only last for so long. Like, if you're not nourishing them, they're not going to last. And if you're over pushing them, like, athletes have quick twitch muscle fibers because they take care of them. If someone's going to, like, constantly be sprinting, those things are going to rip and tear instantly.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the remake of Dawn of the Dead either. The only thing I liked about that was the DVD extra. It has a really good making of documentary.
Right. And some of the acting in the remake was okay.
Except you have Phil from Modern Family. I can't think of the actor's name. It's like seeing him in that. I'm like, it's just weird to see him play a more serious role.
But, great movie. Loved it.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Nice. It's been a long time since I've seen. There's so many like zombie movies I've been wanting to dig back up and watch. That's one of them I probably haven't seen since I was like 13 years old. So,
what is your favorite zombie movies?
Train to Busan.
Oh yeah,
Train to Busan's fantastic.
Like awesome movie. I loved it. It's like the Mist ending type of thing. It's like, fuck, man, you're right there type of thing.
Right. 28 Days Later, fantastic movie.
I like that.
Obviously, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead.
My absolute favorite horror movie is
zombie movie.
Zombie movie. Did I say horror movie? My absolute favorite zombie movie was the 1990 Night of the Living Dead remake. The Tom Savini directed one
with Tony Todd.
Mm-hmm.
That was fantastic.
I don't know why. It just had such a cool vibe to it. I think it was because the first time I saw it was on TNT Monster Vision.
Yeah.
With Joe Bob Briggs, and just the way it was presented and stuff. It just
is that the one that has like a little bit of a a Warriors feel?
Not really, no.
Is that the one that starts off with the
no?
piercing?
It's basically shot for shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty
first.
shot for shot. It's got Bill Moseley. It's got Tony Todd.
What's his name? Anyways, yeah, it's an all-star cast. There's a lot of people in it.
It's a great, fantastic movie, but like, yeah, it's pretty much a shot for shot up to the point where, the main African American character would be shot in the original. That remake continues on from there.
I like I'm not a huge fan of remakes. Some are really good,
right?
But I just like when they take old classic ones and do it in modern time, because it's just like the original Night of the Living Dead is great.
Like,
no, don't even say it, because it's not. No, it's just more gory. The makeup's way better in this one, and
but it's still a simplistic movie. They're not trying to recreate the wheel. Right. It's just a modern, updated, cleaner version of Night of the Living Dead.
So
wasn't that close?
Did you do your third one?
No.
Okay, we should do that because we have time. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, and we still have our main topic.
My third sequel favorite, if you will, was Drunken Master 2, or in America, Legend of the Drunken Master. I thought for its time when it was released, it was like a huge, probably one of the best martial arts film I guess of its
since
time.
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid 2.
Yeah. So Jackie Chan actually plays a legendary figure called Wong Fei, but his acting in it was like phenomenal. So, and like the choreography, the dance, like balance between styles, using something that most people haven't seen before, the drunken style, the drunken boxing, up against other like taekwondo-ish as far as like the last fight scene. Yeah, they were just amazing, using a lot of his stunts. It was Jackie Chan at his prime. Some other good actors in there. Like that was Car Lung, amazing legend before Jackie Chan. Drunken Master. There was a thing that he had to do, because like he was talking about how painting himself up, with the red to make him look more drunkard, I guess.
That's not a word.
More of a drunkard. He had to like stop that. So between like each and every single take, he put his head below his knees, just to get the blood rushing, and then got back up just so his eyes are a little bit more bulgy and the face is red. I'm like, man,
game we used to play in school called the
chokeout game.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember that.
See if you could pass out.
That happened in one of my classes, and the kid passed out, and he wasn't waking back up, and we're like, oh, shoot.
He's dead.
But he did. He woke up.
I had that happen to me. I stood on a bed and had, like, my best friend, like, choke me out. But, like, he just let me go as I was going because he thought I was going to fall down. But instead of falling on the bed, I fell and hit my head in the doorway. And they were like, like, you forget everything. Don't try this. We're not advocating this.
No.
This
Unless
is
you suck. If you suck and you're a terrible human being.
People have actually died because of this. It was stupid when we did it. It's still stupid.
I did it during segment 3 tonight.
I used to do it. I used to do it in high school, but instead of me putting my head below my knees and throwing my head up, actually what happened was I used to be walking down the hallway and bullies used to punch me in the face, and that's how I would get. That was the knockout game in my school.
Sad. Like I feel like I should hug you now.
Well, let's move it to our final topic. We want to do that?
Yeah.
Cancel culture. That's what we'll talk about. Cancel culture. Where do you guys fall on with cancel culture?
I'm good with it.
You would be.
Yeah. I want to cancel it.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's
a touchy topic.
That's what makes, it is a touchy topic.
You can't even touch it anymore because of it.
It just, I don't know. It could have its benefits. It does have its benefits, but I don't know.
I'd like to fucking cancel these crickets.
No kidding. I didn't quite know exactly 100% what cancel culture was because I don't really study up on it, but you did send us a 2-minute video.
Yeah.
That kind of explains it perfectly. Who was the video by? What was it? It's a comedian, right?
Yes.
He's pulling it up right now.
We might get some ads, so I'm going to silence some of that stuff here.
But yeah, this email, we got an email. It explains perfectly. For those of you that are listening that don't understand what cancel culture is, this video will definitely.
Yeah, there's a comedian who does a lot of logical, illogical, one-man skits that goes viral quite often and on Facebook and stuff. Dude's Long Beach Griffey. So here is one of his little comedy sketches.
What's good, bro? What you up to?
Nothing much. Just looking up old videos and old tweets on celebrities trying to get them canceled.
Cancel?
Yeah. It's when you jeopardize the livelihood and reputation of someone based on something they did in the past.
Oh. Why?
I'm a part of the most toxic community on the internet. It's what we do.
Okay.
Yep. We have to hold people accountable for what they've done in the past, regardless of who they are today. We don't judge people based on who they are now. We judge them on who they were.
I see.
Honestly, to cancel someone, it doesn't even have to be something they did in the past. It could be something they did today. Or something we think that they might do tomorrow. Shit. Nowadays, we cancel people for no reason. You can do absolutely nothing. We'll cancel you. The most effective way to cancel someone is to create our own narrative and turn a subgroup against that celebrity.
What do you mean?
Okay, like J. Cole, for instance. He said in a recent song, "It's something about this queen's tone that's bothering me." We took that line, twisted it, and we created the narrative that says J. Cole is telling black women to watch their tone, telling them to shut the fuck up and sit down. Now J. Cole is a misogynist that hates black women.
Is that what he meant? Was that the intent?
Probably not, but that's the thing with cancel culture. We create our own narratives. We don't follow logic or facts. We follow the herd.
Oh. So what do y'all get out of all this?
I don't know. But sometimes we bully people into apologizing just to say that their apology isn't sincere. It's fucking great.
Wow. This video isn't even funny. No, this is just actually sad. And this is life. And I don't even know how to end this video. Fuck.
Yeah, that was that kind of sums it up, I think.
It makes me want to just go strike people.
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
I don't leave my house because of Corona. And I don't leave my house because of protests and riots. And now I don't want to leave my house because of cancel culture. Just fuck the world.
It seems like no matter which side you're on, they're going to have something
You
to say.
lose.
Yeah. It's lose-lose no matter what. You go out and riot or protest or whatever, or somebody on the other side is going to say, fuck you, you did this, so let's end you. It's the people who are out there bullying and shaming, saying that they're against shaming, but they do it themselves tenfold.
You know what the shittiest part of this is? And this is me being 100% serious, and there's no satire to this at all. I am raising a child. He is 5 months old. I am raising a child in this world that hates him.
Yeah.
There is no respect for me bringing a 5-month-old white male into this world that fucking hates him. He gets no respect in this world. The world fucking despises my child because he's white and he is a male. He is going to get zero respect growing up on this fucking planet.
Things that he had no control of. It's like none of us have
That
no
is the
control of it.
goddamn world we live in right now.
100% agree with you.
Yeah. So the easy definition of cancel culture for me is it's stupid. It's it throws out kind of how the video
You
is
just
suggesting.
said cancel culture is stupid. You're a misogynist.
Yeah.
You meant that women are stupid and their shoes are dumb. You're a white racist.
100% what I got out of that.
You need to put that in check, sir.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, it's a hypocritical phenomenon that it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, I feel like when you have to make a decision, don't make it when you're mad. Don't make it when you're hungry. Don't make, like, you have to use logic and reasoning. And when people get some sort of connotation of something emotional and then they get a collective group around it, they're feeding themselves with a emotional that they spun a different narrative around. They don't care about facts or anything. They just want to go out and kill. It's like when I forget who said it. It's a very popular quote is like, be aware of, like, when you look at the void looks back at you, or
Right.
when you're going to kill the monster, be sure not to become the monster. It's like, that's what you're doing, though. You're becoming the monster. You're not seeing any sort of substantial evidence to anything, but you're just going to kill.
But you said going out in the world and not be mad. How do you not be mad going out in this world?
It's a challenge, but if you cannot control yourself, you can't control the situation.
I mean, yeah, you can go out with a very pleasant attitude, and you can go out with the mindset that today I'm going to make a difference. Today I'm going to stand up for the downtrodden, and I'm gonna put my best foot forward, and I'm going to make today great. It's not good enough anymore.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Kind of how Jeremy was hinting that there are things that need to be addressed. So I'm up for addressing them, but with reason, using rationale.
Oh, right, of course. Like, actually sitting down and having a dialogue with someone and it be a peaceful dialogue anymore, that hasn't happened in probably a year.
Man, I just had a conversation recently about and fucking the whole toxic masculinity came into the situation. It's like I was this is kind of going almost off, but on the same realm here. I guess in Pakistan they are issuing or I guess criminalizing people who are using medical terms for, like, people who need special needs or mental retardation or something like that. And it's like where they're using the phrase people with special abilities. It's like, well, that seems to kind of imply more, but you're saying the same thing. You're saying, the way I take it is like, here's a dollar bill, or here's 4 quarters. They're the same thing.
Right.
If you're going to change the words, you're still going to be affected over that eventually.
Right.
It's like you're choosing your offense right there.
Right.
What do you guys think right now, currently in the world, is like one of the biggest cancel culture topics going on right now?
I would say, well, fuck, right now is like
Pick
rape,
one.
pedophilia, Black Lives Matter type of stuff.
Top one.
Or racial, I should say. Let's go with race. People are trying to, let's say the Netflix chief executive or whatever. I guess the situation is he was saying, like, he was wanting to take things off because it had the N-word. And he was like, they had a meeting and there was like a few people of color in this meeting. And, people were kind of agreeing with him. But then, because he said the actual N-word, they're like, oh, I was offended. And it's like, no, he was vying for, removing this because of being offended. And then they kicked him out.
All they heard was the one word.
Yeah. It's like,
that's all people focus on.
You lost the whole reason behind it. The dude was trying to back you. But, I think one person says something and then another person attaches to it who wasn't even there. It's like, oh my God. And it's like, you don't have to, and I hate to use the Karen thing because it just kind of makes actual Karen sound bad. It's like that's a something that probably should be canceled in itself. It's like, put a word for it. Well, I guess there is a word, a Heidi-mighty figure who gets all up in arms over anything, I guess. People standing in lines who don't want to wait or who don't want to use their mask, and they're acting like biatches. Let's say biatches. But yeah, no, I agree.
To me, it kind of goes back to, I think, our first episode where our main topic was technology is kind of the and social media are the evil in this world, and that kind of goes with cancel culture. If it wasn't for social media platforms like Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff, people wouldn't be able to voice their opinions on things that they don't like. And sadly, like we said before, it's the fact that people, they focus on what they want to focus. They don't focus on the facts. They focus on what other people said, or they focus on the one word that you said, even if you were talking positively about that. And for me, it sucks too, because being the person that I am that likes to create things, you can't because
somebody has something to say.
Let's take the movie that I wrote that you were going to play the lead character Colden in, which we still will film. That's a very dark movie. And there's one scene in particular that involves your character throwing himself on a woman.
Spoilers.
Yeah. But it's just like, to me, I'm afraid to even put that out there, because people don't look at the art aspect of it. No. And they're going to automatically assume that you and everybody involved is for rape. And it's
yeah, well, it doesn't make sense, because that's not even what you're saying. Like, there's a deeper message into something. Take another example, Liam Neeson. He came out to say that he grew from the character that he was. Like, he wasn't this person anymore. A close friend of his, what I want to say, was raped, and she said that it was a black man. And he's like, I was so frustrated, and I went out looking for any, black male or whatever to take my rage out. And he's like, it's not right. It's not the person that you should be. And I've grown from that, and I realized my mistakes or whatever. Cancel him. It's like, what? But this was like, 30, 40 years ago or whatever it was. He was a young man at the time, and he's talking about how he learned, and it was an ignorant mindset he had, and he's saying that you can grow from it. Psychiatrists treat you, your cognitive and behaviors and stuff like that. You can move from that, but they don't care. It's like, you did this a long time ago. The dude who won like some sort of beer contest or something like that, he said something ignorant when he was like 14, 15, 16, something. And so they try to pull the award away from him because something he said 15 years ago. Well, probably like 12, I think it was. But it's like,
but who are these people that are like, what is that? The Bible with, like, the
arbiters of,
like, he who has not sinned shall cast the first stone.
Oh.
Everybody out there has made mistakes in their life.
Right.
Some more severe than others, but nobody's perfect. We've all made mistakes, and the thing is, you grow from it.
Right.
And it's the person you are today. Now, some things are not forgivable that you've done in the past, but it's just, I don't know. It's this world we live in, and like I've said, I have a niece and I have nephews. My niece she just turned 4 years old, and it's just like, I think that by the time she's my age, I can't even imagine what this world's going to be like. And it sucks, because not that she doesn't have a great life and a family that loves her and does fun things for her, but it's just like, she's definitely isn't going to have a childhood like we had.
No, not at all.
I mean, you didn't, there wasn't so many, what's the word I'm looking for?
Restraints,
and there wasn't so many butt-hurt people.
Yeah.
And
it's like you have to walk on eggshells no matter what.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
and I mean, there's been a couple of topics on this podcast where after we got done, even though it wasn't really that bad, the more I thought about it, I was like, maybe we should edit that part out, because it's just like, I can just see people attaching to that and misconstruing the whole purpose of that topic.
Right.
And it's sad that you have to do that this day and age.
Yeah, when people, like, and the news, the media does not help, because they want to get the story out fast. So they get the first story, and it's juicy,
right?
So they already have a narrative spun before the facts are even revealed.
Right.
It's like,
and that narrative might even be partial truths.
Right.
Like, they could have that narrative, like the idea of the narrative, and someone could say, well, blah, 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 and it matches a minute detail of the narrative they already have in line, and they're like, sweet, we'll make up the rest, just to fit that narrative.
Do you want to know how unreliable the media is, news channels and stuff like that? This is just from a
one
couple
topic and see any two things.
This is from a couple of days. They posted about how that, I'm going to butcher his name, that Usain Bolt, that runner, Usain Bolt was tested positive for COVID. They had a fucking picture of Kevin Hart, the comedian, and they posted that. That shows you how reliable that these news media outlets are, because they just want to get a story out the fastest, the quickest. They don't care about what's true, what's not true. And
what was that one? Morgan Freeman was doing a interview, and they try to say that he was the Allstate guy.
No, that was
the Super Bowl commercial.
It was
yeah.
Fuck, who was it? It was
motherfucker
Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah, they're like,
is that we're different people?
Not all black people look alike.
That guy.
Well,
if you want to see somebody melt and get embarrassed.
Well, and going back to, like you were saying, with making movies and TV shows and everything, like, art used to be, like, it used to be subjective. We all could get something different from something. Like, we could all look at a flower and go, that flower's cool, that flower sucks, that flower makes me think of this, that flower makes me smell this. And now it's like, if we don't all see the same thing, we are labeled a racist, we're labeled a homophobe, we're labeled a Nazi, it's more now being herded into a same category now than I think it's ever has been. It's either it's a herd mentality. It's
tribalistic. You don't
It's either you prove that you're not a bad person, or you're a bad person. And it's you have to go by this militia mentality, or you're all these other things.
Yeah, these arbiters aren't even looking at themselves. Like, if you want to see the truth, like, use a mirror, not a telescope. Like, to add to that, they should say something like that. If you want to prove you're not a bad person like us, type of thing, then other than being a bad person, it's like, you're not any different. You're led by emotions, and you're not using any sort of logic. And when you do that, that's when all the mistakes happen.
Well, and a little bit off topic, but so, and I'm not taking any side on anything. I'm not going to vote Democrat. I'm not going to vote Republican. I'm not going to go out on the streets and protest for any other group. I'm just saying this as a logical fact, because that's who I am. I'm the fact guy. How many raids, riots, looting have the Black Lives Matter protesters have done in their peaceful protests?
How many total?
Yeah, just throw a number out there.
I'm pretty sure
how
it's
many
all the way up in the
millions of dollars?
Oh, how much?
Yeah, just throw it out there. Throw a number.
I would say it's up in the billions, probably.
Probably at this point. How much damage has the Proud Boys done?
That's a good question.
Big fat zero, probably.
I mean, they have, as far as like property damage and all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they've gotten into fights because of opposing groups or gangs or whatever.
Right.
But definitely not as much.
And it all has to do with cancel culture.
Exactly. Yeah.
It all has to do with people telling you that you're wrong.
Right. It's, for me, I see cancel culture as a religion, and it's kind of how things were happening way back in the day. Like, look at the Roman times and stuff. When if you weren't a Christian, you were a pagan, a paganist or something like that, and that's what they use words to vilify.
If you're
so
not
if you're
a
not
Christian,
part of us,
you're right.
Yeah. If you're not part of this, then you're a racist, a sexist, or whatever. They create these words, like wakeivist and all this. It's just like, if you're not woke, then you need all this. They use words to weaponize, and it's like, it's not helping the matters, because you're still spinning your own narrative.
Right.
And
Well, they use these narratives to deplete someone's importance.
Right.
And they make these narratives when they don't have a logical reason to keep these people down.
I guess an example I see it is like, I'm here to come sit at your lunch table, but I don't like what you're eating, so I'm going to try to get you expelled. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
It's like,
I don't like bananas, so I'm going to slit your tires.
Right. Look at, going back to like the news media and stuff, some of them are under pressure. I mean, like, they're in front of an audience, they are trying to get their script right and, convey what needs to be said. But just because their face made a noise that, jumbled some words together that sound like something that might have been something else, like, take their job away, take the food out of the mouths of their kids. It's like, no, like, let them listen. For communication to happen, you have to seek for understanding. They don't care.
I'm going to get your guys' take on this. I don't know, like, the exact guy's name, but it happened last week, I believe. He's been a sports broadcaster for a baseball team. And during a live thing...
Are you talking about the fag or the
Yes,
gay?
yes.
Okay.
So he thought the microphone was off or they're on a commercial break, but they were still live. And he said something about the fag city or something like that. And...
Is it an actual city?
No, it's not.
Is it?
And when they came back or whatever, he did a apology, and he's like, "That's not the kind of man I am." Blah blah blah. And he was even still like, the guy hit a home run when he was doing it. Yeah. And he stopped the apology, and he's like, and he hits a home run and stuff. And they made him stop the broadcast right there. He left, and somebody else filled in, and they're filling in for him. And as far as I know, he's probably out of job now.
I would assume so. Yeah.
Fag is definitely a harsh word.
Right.
It's a bundle of sticks.
But is him saying that one thing? Is that
absolutely
something to destroy his whole
Is it worth that? No.
Absolutely.
Take him out of that position, but I mean, like, cancel him completely just because of a single word?
Absolutely. Like, he'll probably even face criminal charges, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Yeah,
it's
for discriminating.
Slander.
Yeah.
I mean, and I still don't even understand, like, what he was using, like, how he was using it. Like, I think
it was something along the lines of this fag city, or...
Yeah, it was something, but, I mean...
Yeah, I don't know how to measure the...
It's just crazy that something like that nowadays destroys your whole... It deletes your whole past, everything that you've done. You're now known as this person that said one thing they shouldn't have. And
like, some other examples of cancel culture just recently is, like, check that. I think it was in Florida. There was a bed and breakfast that had a Norwegian flag, but people were thinking it was a rebel flag. It's like that. They're two different,
exponentially different.
Know what you're fighting for before you actually fight for something. So,
do you think that people? And I'm being honest when I ask you this. Do you think that people out there just really want the world to crumble? And that's why they jump on these...
Intentionally? No.
I think...
They want the attention.
I don't know. I'm thinking that these people just jump on board with these things because they want to see this world corrupt and fail. And I don't...
I think they think they're bringing the justice. It's like riots and, cancel culture happens when the system doesn't work. They try to take matters into their own hands to do something, and I understand that to an extent.
When the system doesn't work, or when it doesn't work in the way they want it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it works. It's just not. I feel like a punishment should match the crime. I like the process that we use in the courts, but they don't use that. It's like intent matters, and they don't care about intent. The way that you said something or used something, the way what's his name, Jonathan Friedland from Netflix said something, that should matter. You should take that in consideration too, because he's fighting for the same side. But just because something happened, the actions or the impact of the actions that happened is what it's what's getting spun. It doesn't matter.
So I'm going to ask both of you guys this because you're fathers. Do you feel that kids today are just being brought up and taught that if you don't like something and it doesn't go the way you want, and you don't get it the way you want, that you're just supposed to whine and complain
Yes,
and do whatever,
absolutely.
like not actually fight for it or work hard for something.
There was a meme I just saw recently, and it's like a parent pretty much talking to their kid, and it's like, well, what's the magic word? You know, like they're trying to get something from the parent, and the kid is like, I'm offended. So yeah. But I mean, like, it's, man,
Well,
it's frustrating.
An example of that, and I'm sorry to go this route, guys, but back to the Nebraska football. So they canceled the Big Ten conference, canceled their season. Well, now all of these parents and football players went out to the headquarters where the Big Ten is at, and were protesting. And now there's all these lawsuits against the Big Ten because their kids can't play football this year. But now the thing is that was brought up too, and the reason they're fighting it so much is because this is the first year now that college athletes are able to get endorsements. So they're fighting this because their kids are, and this is quotes, that their kids are missing out on making money with these endorsements. So it's not about health and safety. It's all about the bottom dollar and making money and bad parenting. So now they're teaching their kids to, you know, if you don't like it, just whine, sue. Like suing people is like the new thing now.
Yeah.
Like, and it's irritating. Like, and it makes sense in some parts. Like, don't get me wrong with my things. Like, I think cancel culture can work and has its benefits at times for certain situations, but it's the fact that it's overused for everything. And it's the easiest way to get something done instead of working for it.
The thing is like, it's an easy solution that works because you get that dopamine fix. It's addictive. Like, you just want to continue to do it. You get a false sense of power, and they grant you that. It's like, oh, well, he was offended. Oh, I'm going to step back off of my, position and let them have their way and just do this. It's like, now they got that. Now they're going to go for more. Now they're going to go for more. It's like, man, and I hate to sound like so like Republican, I guess, because
there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a Republican.
It's like I'm more, I guess, an independent, I guess. Oh, but I'm not a big politic, person, I guess.
I'm not at all.
Oh.
I've never voted, and that's why I don't complain about who our president is, because I didn't vote. But I mean, the way I look at it, this day and age, it doesn't matter who the hell is voted into office as our president. You're going to have half the world that loves them and half the world that despises them is going to do everything they can to try to get them out of office. We're never going to have a world where everyone's going to agree.
Right. It's like he didn't even win the vote. He just got the major college elective or whatever it's called. But Nebraska and Maine are the two states that don't, I guess their votes doesn't necessarily matter. But
until the day the election comes down to one vote, I'll never vote.
Yeah.
That's a movie.
It's a 1-1.
Is it?
Yeah.
Election
Day.
Matthew Broderick?
No, it's got the dude from
Fast Times at Richmond High?
No, it's got the dude from Field of Dreams in it.
Kevin Costner?
Yeah. He's the only person who didn't vote, so everyone's schmoozing.
Yeah. So cancel culture, it's very, in my eyes, very un-American. And I'm not like a huge patriot, but I love like the rights that we have, which are First Amendment, freedom of speech, and it pretty much goes against all of that. It's like, I don't like what you say, so I'm gonna end you. And there's a quote I want to read here from Ricky Gervais. He said, "I see offense as the collateral damage of free speech. I hate the thought of a person's idea being modified or even hushed because someone somewhere might not like to hear them. Outside actually breaking the law or causing physical harm, hurting someone's feelings is almost impossible to objectively quantify." He goes on and continues, "I think offense is the collateral damage of free speech, and it's no reason not to have free speech. That's why I say it's the lesser of two evils. Having free speech and some people getting upset by it is the lesser of two evils because not having free speech is horrendous." So not being able to say something, your thoughts, your ideas, that's how we get to solutions. It's like if we both have opposing ideas, we can try to meet in the middle and see, negotiate something and, make a better place, I guess. But if you're just going to, stomp people down and go for the whole witch hunt and kick them out of your community, it's pointless.
But that would involve a calm, rational discussion with somebody, which that doesn't exist nowadays. You're an a-hole.
Right.
Like right away. If I don't agree with you, I'm just going to chop you down, call you names, and...
Oh. It's like, what do you guys think? Let's play devil's advocate. What are the pros of cancel culture?
Before we move on to that, speaking of offending people, just a quick little thing about that. The freedoms of others should be respected, including the freedom to offend.
Yeah. I totally agree.
It's a tenement that should be viewed by everybody, I believe.
I guess I'll add on to that, too. So, if people aren't aware, our First Amendment, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment or religion, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievance. So it's like we're able to say what we want to say as individuals, but if somebody has a problem with it, they should just, instead of working to make laws, or, you can never say this because you're of a certain skin color, or you can't say that because you're not of that occupation. You don't have the experience. It's like, if somebody has a better way for me in my occupation or position, or if you want to call it privilege, then I want to hear the idea. And if things sound better, then I don't care what race, religion, sex, whatever. Let's see if we can make something more habitable.
Right.
Well, the word, when people say privilege, that's offensive to me.
I would say the same thing.
But I'm not gonna fight it and be a dick about it. I mean, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I mean, I know my backstory and what I did to have the things I have today. I worked very hard for the things I have, and I don't, to say that I'm privileged. I mean, that's the other thing, is that everyone, if one person does something, everybody is the same way.
Right.
Like Justin, like you're a bald white guy, and you don't like Whoppers, so that means every bald white guy doesn't like Whoppers. How is that fair to say? I don't.
If I don't like to be, or if you don't like to be grouped into a certain mold, why are you doing it to me? Type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, personally, I don't like to identify as a white male. I mean, I consider myself olive, but there's no box to check for that.
Yeah. I mean, this is what I'm going to say about myself. I have white friends, both male and female. I have black friends, both male and female. I have Asian friends, both male and female. I have Spanish, Mexican American friends that are both male and female. I love everybody. I don't, there are bad.
Why are you narrowing it to just the two sexes?
Well, you see, yeah, that's, and this, you say that jokingly, but God, somebody probably, that's the sad thing.
The people who fought for certain rights these days, Martin Luther King would not have a platform today. They will cancel him just because of...
He would be livid if he was still around today to see how things are being handled. That guy would be so sad and depressed right now.
So that was one of my heroes growing up. I remember being like second grade. We had a play at our school, and I wanted to play Martin Luther King, but for obvious reasons, I could not. So,
well, you should find that school, and you should get them to shut down because they wouldn't let you play Martin Luther King.
But I mean, to say somebody going into media, filming, people were trying to cancel, like, what's her name? Black Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, thank you. Because she played pretty much a sexless robot, in a
Home Alone 3?
a popular Japanese, wow, why am I forgetting this? Ghost in the Shell type of thing. It's like she's not a person, like she's a robot. She's enhanced, made, but to try to cancel her before that, it doesn't make any sense. It's like she's just playing a role. You have to fit all these criteria just to get this role. It shouldn't be about, getting somebody who not necessarily just looks the part, but somebody who can play the part. But seeing just past, I guess, race, it's like, aren't you seeing the hypocrisy? Like, you're the one being the racist.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, let's talk about something recently too. That cops and that LAP, or what is that show called? The live version of Cops or whatever.
Cops? Oh, the Live PD.
Live PD. Those got canceled because of everything going on.
It doesn't make any sense.
Why?
Freaking Paw Patrol. They canceled a
They
cartoon.
canceled Paw Patrol?
Because Marshall, or Chase
is a cop. I'm pretty sure that's right.
because he's a cop.
What the literal fuck?
I know.
Exactly. That's the world we live in. We live in such a fucking watered down, pansy ass filled world, and it annoys the shit out of me because I know it's never going to get better. It's only going to get worse because this is what kids are being taught, and kids have no respect for their elders these days, for the most part.
If John Wayne was still alive, we wouldn't have this problem.
Well, I wish some of these people would come back.
Racist.
If the Duke was still alive, he would probably be canceled.
True. So, yeah, let's go back. What are the pros? We'll go pros and cons. What's pros of?
God, it's hard now to think of the pros because of all that.
It's easier to weed through your friends list to know who you want to delete now.
Which the con to that is now you're just limiting. You're preaching to the choir. You're not seeing any worldview. You're not trying to enhance your own thought process, and all that. So I mean, like it does spotlight possible problematic issues, but
with what he said, I don't just weed through and delete a friend because they have a differing opinion than me.
Absolutely.
It's how they
continuously
word it, and if they're just like, if you vote Trump, then get the fuck off of my friends list and don't talk to me. It's like, I'm not saying I vote for Trump or I like Trump or I dislike Trump, but I'm just saying, using that as an example.
But I'm going to delete you anyway.
It's like, if you're going to be the kind of person that you're going to choose whether we're friends or not just because of
party,
who I like, then fuck you. I don't need you as a friend.
It's like your identity is so, you're more than just your political party.
Right. I mean, go look at pictures of the three of us, and look at the little fat guy.
Which one?
Look at the little fat guy covered in tattoos. That's me. Would you pick that I'm a Republican? Probably not. Did I vote for Donald Trump? Fuck no. Am I going to when this next election comes through? Fuck no. I'm going to vote Republican on the rest of the ticket because that's what I do. I have core values with Republicans. I'm pretty conservative for a 5'7" tattooed fat kid. But it's just like everything that's happening now transcends party lines.
Yeah.
Parties should not be doing things to hurt the other party. Like, that's what politics basically are now. Like,
yeah, it's
where we're sitting on this like stimulus package that hasn't passed, that should have passed months ago, is because the Democrats don't want to like give Trump any more like popular votes. Like, so they're not passing it because they don't want to make Trump look better.
I mean, I hate to say it, but from somebody that doesn't really give a shit about politics and isn't voting, I hate to say it, but people need to get used to Trump for 4 more years because I don't see Biden and people say, I've heard her name as Kamala or Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala.
I don't see them doing anything to sway any more votes their way. And
well, the latest thing is the Democrats are trying not to have Biden debate Trump because the least they have to like cart him out on stage, and it's like fucking Weekend at Bernie's basically.
It's gonna be a slugfest, like
Joe Biden.
They're both, from what I've seen, and I'm not a big follower of either. I mean, like, but you can't help but see what's going on. It's like they both like to bash here and there,
right?
So it's like, what do you guys? Is this? It's personal for you guys. Get off the fucking stage and put somebody who's going to do something.
When Joe Biden was Obama's VP, I loved the man. He was so funny. He was comical. I loved the Joe Biden memes. It was like my day. Now that there's a chance he could become the ruler of this planet.
Wait a second.
Yeah, no, it's true. it frightens me. Like he said, and it's probably a good thing. He said in an interview, I think it was with Oprah. I don't know. It was a black lady, probably Oprah. He said,
"That's racist." It's not racist. It's racial. Racist implies hate.
He said his first act as president would be to shut the country back down, which I agree. I think it's a smart idea.
When it gets to politics, like there was nothing more annoying than the debates between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, because it's not about telling America what they're gonna do for the American people. It's like,
how bad
she did this, and this means that she's gonna do this when she's in office, and he's a bad guy because he did this, and it's just like, just tell the frickin' facts of what you're gonna do. Like, quit trying to tear the other person down, because anybody that's on Hillary's side already knows this about Trump. Anybody on Trump's side knows this about Hillary. Right. You're not gonna sway somebody on her side to be like, oh, wait a minute, I didn't know that she did that. So it's like, I think this cancel culture actually stems down from the leaders of our world.
Absolutely. But thanks to those arguments, we got Ken Bone. And Ken Bone ruled the world for a hot minute.
Remember when, I think it was this last election, that the meme puking dog was one of the candidates?
No.
There was a lot of people voting for puking dog. It was like a dog just puking as he was doing it and doing it and doing it.
I will write in Dennis Kucinich till the day I die.
Who is somebody you would like to see as president?
Like, realistically, who I think would fix the world?
I think The Rock could do awesome job.
Let's see what he does with the XFL first.
Well, I mean, like,
still think that's a ploy.
He is a voice that people will listen to, and that's what we need, because you put
so you're serious when you say Dwayne Johnson?
I am. Okay. And I'm pretty sure he would, if he does independent. But I mean, I'm pretty sure he might lean more of a Republican. But I mean, yeah, it's rough. I'll vote for you.
No, thank you. I don't want that job.
I would love to see a Ben Shapiro as president.
You would.
Of course I would.
You.
Well, take it over!
I don't necessarily agree with, speaking of all that, and with all the racist stuff that's going on, people are like, whop this, whop that. I'm like, what the hell did I do? But
get it? Because he's a wop?
Well, I mean, I'm not. Wop is a derogatory term for Italians, like a dago wop, and,
I'm just choosing to ignore what you said.
Okay.
Your dad joke.
It's not a dad joke.
It's a topical term right now.
Yeah.
Because of the song, you're not supposed to walk on the wet ass plaster.
Yeah, I don't know that song.
That's good.
I would say Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd love to see him as president.
I don't think he can, because he wasn't American born.
But you only have to be you have to be 35 years, I think. I don't think you necessarily have to be
No, you can be a
born
governor.
American. I think that you just have to be a U.S. citizen for 35 consecutive years.
I don't think that's it. I thought it was,
or maybe not.
You can run the state. You can be a governor, a state official, with time under your belt as an American. But I don't think you can be a president.
Really? I thought that. Oh, well, we might have to look that up, because I thought that you just have to be a citizen of the U.S. for a certain amount of years. You have to be 35 years old to be president. But and that's the thing too, is why don't we ever get a young president? Because I believe you only have to be 35 years old.
Kennedy was young.
Yeah, but look at our past. I mean, Obama was what, in his 50s?
Yeah, you have to be a person. You have to be a natural-born citizen to be president of the United States.
But I thought people said that Barack Obama wasn't.
He's from Hawaii.
I thought people said that he was born somewhere else.
They tried to say that he was from
That was
Kenya.
the whole thing. Is like
they were trying to remove him because of
cancel culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Black and East.
So, Yeah, some pros. I mean, like you get a bit of empowerment, but I think that is easily divisive to go the wrong way.
That's a pro. Entitlement?
Empowerment.
Oh.
Not entitlement. Entitlement is not a pro. But I mean, like most of my pros I wrote down here, like you can immediately handle issues, but oftentimes it's ignorantly, and many times it's against the innocent. So people who are check out cancel culture for like August Ames or Hana Kimura. They both killed themselves. Like you're pretty much bullying people to pretty much take a drastic measure. It's like you want to rid them over like the stupidest stuff. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had more to say there.
Yeah, we were waiting for you.
Oh no, cancel culture is pretty much bullying, and
yeah,
you're enforcing bullying. And I'm not necessarily against bullying, but I'm not for it at all. It's like I feel like the way.
Yeah.
Let me explain this.
You're not
I mean, like
for it, but you're not against it.
Yeah, I am not advocating bullying, but I'm saying more so that you need to understand how to deal with it. But if cancel culture itself, it is pretty much a religion. You know, like they have their witch hunts and stuff like that, and they get in mass groups and invite to try to like end you, in a sense. You know, like they're very dogmatic.
I still don't see the positive in bullying.
Oh no,
there's lots of positives. There's bullying, just not cancel culture.
Well, there's characteristics, or character building. Like look at athletes, Michael Jordan. All these people who were bullied, but then they rose up to prove other people wrong. Like they became the best. They unlocked their potential because of the shining the diamond. Like it takes a little bit of a pressure, I guess, to become your best. I'm not saying we should have bullying, but I'm saying you should understand or know how to deal with it.
I think bullying, I just don't like that term. I think tough love is more.
Yeah, see, I'm not necessarily like for tough love either, but I understand it. It's like it works sometimes, but because all of our upbringings are probably different. I mean, like I don't necessarily know how Lonnie was raised, what kind of family, the dynamics between your parents.
Farmer family.
Yeah, and yours is probably, mid-city type of whatever. But, like, we all had different upbringings. I was passed back and forth from family to family, But, like, I mean, it all shapes our character. We've had issues that we've run in with. I mean, like, I've been jumped. I've been name called, cast out, or whatever, until I found like the group that would pull me in, or created my own group. But yeah, I guess trying to bring it back to like bullying, it's like it helps you grow, but it's not necessary. You can still reach your potential without that pressure.
So in high school, like my freshman and sophomore year, I was ridiculously bullied.
Right.
Like constantly, almost every day. But I was dumb enough to stand up and fight back.
Right.
Like the number of fights and the number of times I got my ass kicked was enormous.
For a male, I guess, I think in that dynamic, you've kind of earned probably some respect to your bully because it's something that's wrong with them. That's why they're bullying.
Oh no, it was totally me. I was a shit talker beyond repair. But a lot of when a lot of the bullies aged out, I was still that shit talker. So I went from being bullied to getting a little clique of friends, and I started being the bully to friends in my clique. Like there was a couple kids who were, we'll just call them wolf kids, who like would pretend they were wolves. I bullied the shit out of those kids, like constantly, because they were gonna get it regardless, and I'm just setting them up for the life they were going to get.
It's good for you.
Sad thing, though, is with a lot of the bullying of today is that
it's different. It's easier.
It's easier, and
you do it online. You do it
it's not just at school.
Yeah.
You
can buy a billboard and put something saying, "Hey, you're
through Facebook and stuff.
You're going to hell."
And so many people, though. The sad thing is that so many people can't take it anymore. That
Right.
the answer is they take their own life.
Well, and that was the difference back in the day. It's like, and I'm sure it goes with the three of us in this room and our friends list. We have like our personal friends. We will give each other shit to the end of the earth. But if someone else would come in here and give the other one shit, they would have to deal with us. And that's just the way life is. Like, I can give you shit, and I've been giving you a healthy amount of shit tonight. But if anyone else came in here and give you that shit, they'd be leaving with 2 black eyes. That's just the way the world is.
I was just eating his shit and giving it to you.
Right, yeah. Because I'm the leader of the centipede.
I knew that the reason you were giving me shit earlier is it was going to come full circle for this main topic.
But no, it's serious. And it was like that back in high school. Like, I can give you shit, but no one else in this room better not even consider it.
Yeah, the cancel culture, I mean, if they don't realize that they're bullies, that is the issue. It's like they're not...
Right.
They don't see it. They don't care about any progress that somebody has made. You know, like if it's something that just happened, yeah, maybe address it. But canceling something does not solve the issue.
No.
You just created another enemy, you know? And it's like people take those drastic measures. They might take their own life. They might go into a school and do something because they were trying to be pushed out of the herd.
Right.
It's like
look at the Menendez brothers. Like, they killed their parents for whatever reason they wanted to. They're on I think it was Muggsy Bogues or someone's basketball card, like a literal Topps card. They're in the front row after they had killed their parents with the money they'd stole from them. They were in front row of a Knicks game, and they got taken of a picture of them in the front row on that card. They just lived it up. I don't know if they had stress problems. They're one of those true crime stories I never really followed, but
it's an interesting one. I haven't gone too in depth with it, but it's definitely, I've watched a few videos on it, and man,
it's just you hit a certain level, and I'm afraid that's what cancel culture is going to lead to. We're going to have a new crop of once everything starts to calm back down. People are going to calm down, but those people who've hit their peak, hit their edge, they're not going to calm down, and that's going to start becoming more relevant.
Yeah,
they're just going to stew and stew and stew until the pot overflows.
The thing is like there is no end game. Like, when someone is so set on taking somebody down, they're not going to be happy. It's like they don't care. Kevin Fart. Wow. Kevin.
Cancel.
Well, he's definitely not a fan of our podcast anymore.
Kevin Hart. Can't even talk.
You said that's a sign that we should wrap this up soon.
No, Kevin Hart got canceled because something he did and came out years before, or I guess after he did it, but years before, when he was hosting the awards show. And he apologized for it, but it fucking wasn't enough. They brought it back up, and it's like, he already addressed this. Like, you people need to stop. Like, it's not doing any favors.
It cost him a dream. Like, one of his dreams was hosting that award show, and it got taken from him.
It's like, but, like, we have a justice system, but, like, banding together is only, like, creating chaos. And
I'm still laughing.
And then he has to come out as his alter ego, Kevin
Fart.
I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
You were so proud when you were about to say that.
See, that's what I'm talking about. It's like these little slip-ups or something like that. It's like, cancel him because some word sounded like something else. It's like, fuck you.
Did you say Kevin Fart? Nope, canceled.
It's my accent, I guess.
Man.
But yeah, no.
I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop laughing from that.
Here's something that I just find kind of like deep. Like, I feel like emotional rhetoric becomes the norm because critical thinking is dead. And when reasoning is lost, emotional shallowness dominates society. People are choosing not to think. They don't care. And it's like, your not caring is actually going to end you, further down the line in trouble. You're starting this cancel culture, but when you're on that other end, it's not fair, it's not fair. Well, this is exactly what you're doing. You're getting a taste of your own medicine.
what you get for not standing up for yourself.
It's like you've created this monster, and now it's, turning back on you. Yeah.
Interesting
that got
topic.
heated in some areas.
It's literally hot in this room, too.
Very hot in this room. Next week, it's supposed to be cooler again, but we're not meeting next week.
No.
The next episode, Lonnie.
Oh, man. I hope you guys know I'm bringing the dark.
Dude, give us a little teaser.
We haven't had a full darkness episode.
Are you bringing the Ouija board back out?
No, I am not. We're going darker than the Ouija board.
Oh, boy.
Tell us about it.
I'm going to leave you in suspense.
Is there a theme besides it being dark?
Oh, there's going to be a theme.
Does this music have anything to do with it? Or you might call it a hupa?
Huh?
Oh, man.
Shalom, boys. No, but next week, I'm going to throw a special invite to some very special people. But
we're gonna have guests.
No, it's gonna be a tribute episode of such to some very special people.
All right.
And I'm gonna have some twists and turns for you boys too on a couple segments.
What you got?
You do realize you have to send me the stuff.
I'll send it to you boys.
Okay.
But no movie review next week. But I will have a game. And our main topic. Right, get your hairs on your neck standing up.
I shave mine.
He does. Well, on that note.
This guy. Well, this was episode 007 of the Boundless PodTrap. Thank you guys for listening. Next week, next week, September 14th, Lonnie's going to take the reins on this one. And
we promise it won't be a 3-hour episode.
Yeah, this kind of went a little long. Thanks, you guys, for tuning in.
41 minutes.
Oh. Be safe out there. Don't make any rash decisions, but do make decisions about your rashes. Have a good night.
I'm going to slap you.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. Join us next time for more absurdity that only the guys from the Boundless PodTrap can bring you.